in. Give a little bit more individuality. That's what I want to see.
If I'm not mistaken, Niftura, I think you actually won at darts. And I think you got that chicken dinner.
I did.
You were lied to, but
very mad.
In this last game, E-Arena wasn't lied to, Max, because E-Arena came out with the win.
I never know how to react to an E-Arena win now since that Rondo 39-pointer. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's a cool win. But what's next? No, genuinely, it was a good game. It was a very open-ended finish between Furia and E-Arena. I think it was kind of even-steven until eventually Ayala got a little bit overly aggressive on that push. Then he gave them an advantage, and E-Arena using every resource they had available to get that win. Good to see, but again, I need to see that continue in your next coming matches.
Take it away, Lace. I know you've been wanting to talk about this team for a minute.
Hey, Ayala, I am revoking your driver's license because I was waiting for the Furia drive by Max. E-Arena, obviously, they deserved that win because of Furia and their driving and not taking that position early on. I mean, I liked the way that they sort of held out E-Arena early on in the map. Yeah. They had Silence kind of scouting Vitality's movements right down at the south side. So this was such a better play from them. They're actually defending and looking where other teams are sort of pushing into that position. They had such a strong split hold. Obviously, a little bit of tunnel vision coming out of some of the players there, and then I don't know what the vehicle situation was, and you could hear me screaming in the back, he's like catching nades with the vehicle as well, and I'm like, what plan is this? They had such a strong position after getting like
this one.
Yeah, after moving their way into zone on the rotation on the southern side, Max.
Look,
I'll give you my back, Neptune. I'm really upset.
I know what happened, actually. I was talking tonight. I saw him as we were leaving the talent room, and I asked him, like, what was the play with Ayala? And he said the idea for Ayala was to get an off angle on the team and actually catch them from behind. But then he saw two players and he got scared. And that's the thing is, right, lack of information will make you do these kind of mistakes. So it could have been a good idea, and catching nades didn't work out. It could have been great, but unfortunately, two-player setup was exactly what E-Arena needed in case of those kind of pushes coming their way.
That was just a big, something I like to call, what the Furia? WTF, because that's exactly what ended up happening with that one. I've been working on that one all day, especially with the way that they were playing earlier. There was a squad, though, that was able to put up a good amount of eliminations, and it was none other than Aurora. Aurora, once again, Neptura being able to back it up with Ilims, even though they wasted a lot of utility with Tiamba.
They did wait. It was a big old red zone, and it was fairly unnecessary. However, it does get you those points, right? And it's been really nice to see them actually, because I think in the group stage, right, we saw them just doing just enough to get into the top 5, just enough to get to where they wanted to be. Now we're seeing true Aurora here. Now we're seeing the team that we're used to seeing, and I'm really, really enjoying that. I think they've actually played a lot better, right? They're very even. They're not splitting. Doc's not doing his thing. He's He's staying with his team, and Rifus, and Ziel, we've seen some really cool off angles from them, so very happy with them.
And something that I enjoy seeing there, especially out of that graphic, Max, is Top being able to bounce back. Remember, earlier in the previous match before this one, Top was on top of the bridge. It didn't end up working out for him, but 4 elims out of him, a person that has been an MVP before on an international finals, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, really happy. I mean, the best way to describe it is what you said, Niptra. They became a red zone at that moment in that game, and I love the way that any team would get in contention of their zone, they would start just nailing them to hell and back. So Aurora playing it really well. I am still not sold on their performances so far. I feel like there's still a lack of fragging power that they used to have in the past. Doc is underperforming quite significantly. So Top, GG's, I'm loving it. Ziol too had some great moments, especially in that rondo. But Doc, he's still sleeping right now. He needs to wake up.
Wake up, Doc. Wake up. Just make sure you don't start going away from your team, because that's when things ends up falling apart for Aurora. But Aurora, honestly, 36 points, currently tied. But the tiebreaker does go to E-Arena with that win that they ended up getting. Tiamba, though. Tiamba right now, the aggressiveness that we've been seeing out of this team, if you want to give the mic to Lace, they're currently putting up those numbers, Lace, because 27 eliminations for that squad and only 4 placement points.
Yeah, I see. This is what I'm saying. They're finding those fights. They're gathering those eliminations, finding a nice power play position, but then unfortunately losing it, which is where we see the decline in placement points. But obviously this is still a really good trend for them, especially coming out of survivals into this sort of scenario. And to have that amount of points and that sort of trajectory is incredibly good for them. But of course, we got to bring it back to kind of the smash rule and the way that you have to gather these eliminations. It's fine. It's good to do it, obviously, today, but then we got to see more of those placement points and those wins out of them to be able to take more than that.
100%. And another team that's currently doing that, Max, it's none other than Nongshim. And I know you weren't quite happy with what Nongshim, especially Human, was doing that last game.
Yeah, initially I love the way they initiate the fight onto, I think it was Orangutan in that gas station. I'm like, okay, you've got some solid off angles. I like it. They're pushing the fight. But the thing is about off angles, they lose effectiveness the longer the fight goes on. And I think it was one of the play on the Harry Potter Tower. He had a great line of sight, but eventually Orangutan know you have that line of sight, so they're not going to peek you that aggressively. That would be the prime time for them to regroup, fully commit to the fight, and send it, and hopefully come out on top. But they're very slow to respond to these moments, and I'm very upset with their opening performances so far.
Yeah, one team talking about aggressive, talking about people committing to a fight. We saw Nigma Galaxy and Ida finally commit to the hot drop, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. Leave that ego to some other time, because right now it's going to be hurting those two teams.
Yeah, it is, and we did see Fourth Thrives take advantage of what's been going on there, right? Just dropping in on, trying to get a few limbs, and then move back to their position. They were trying to punish that as much as possible, just because it's kind of silly. In the finals, maybe day one, kind of get away with it, but keep on doing it. It's not going to work out. Fourth Thrives knew that, and you know, they might not be the only team to take advantage of that. If the playing path's a little funny, if that keeps happening, other teams might just third party that.
Yeah, they will end up third partying that. We saw there towards the bottom of the leaderboard as well. Godlike, OG, those are two teams that are looking to bounce back. But right now, we are halfway through that mark. Lace, any team that has surprised you so far?
I would just like to say that, like, I'm very proud of you, Furia. I know I was a little bit mad in that situation, and I was surprised about you in the first couple of games, and I just want to make it note that that was a much better performance. But still, I'm taking a driver's license away.
That was a good performance. Next time you ever take my mic, Lace, this big old chicken is gonna be in your head once again. But as we're getting ready here for match 4, let's send it over to none other than Barney and Luti.
Luti, yeah, you know how last week we were talking about how to win PMWC?
Oh yeah, the big secret I told everyone.
You gave everyone some incredible insight for those of
indeed.
you at home that were listening. Teams were listening as well. Aurora Gaming,
Yeah.
Tiamba,
Doing
the Arena,
good.
they're playing very well at the moment.
Indeed.
But let's break it down into the finer details.
Oh, it's
Okay,
pleasure, yeah.
I want to ask you a little bit more. Okay, so what's the best map to capitalize on points?
I mean, there is different teams with different play styles, so it depends.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, it depends, yeah. How about vehicles for late rotations, getting into a good position? What's the best vehicle to use?
The horse, the buggy, and so different maps, so it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Utility, okay, so end of game, smokes, nades, medical packs, bandages. What's the best thing to have in your arsenal?
I mean, depending your situation with the cycle, so I will answer. It depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay. Luti.
It's not that easy, you know.
Luti. What's the best gun in the game?
I mean,
Let me guess. It depends. Sacre bleu.
No, Barney. Everyone knows it's the P90. No, it depends. Okay, back to you, casters. I hope you're ready. It depends.
And yeah, he's right. The P90 is where it's at, but we are here live in the finals, getting ready for the last 3 matches.
Absolutely. We have got a great day unfolding before us. We've had some real step-ups from a lot of teams coming on through, some great rotations, some insertions, some side swipes into those zones. That S2G hovercraft double roll-up, that was looking pretty, but we're going to be sending ourselves once again over to Erangel to find ourselves one more chicken dinner.
Let's see who's gonna get it. Yeah, I mean, this is it, the last Erangel of the day, and it's time to put up some serious points. I mean, we're still super early in this tournament, but we're already starting to see some teams, right, make some things happen. I was able to talk to one player in particular as we were getting into this game. I happened to see S-Power from Godlike. The hair is hard to miss. I went up to the man and said, hey, you know what, give me 3 words before we get into this next match. And he said, the domination begins.
Ooh, using a whole word on the. That is bold. That's the sort of confidence that you want to see coming through. For Godlike, they do want to try and push a little bit further up those tables, try and get in the competition for those top spots. Of course, having only seen 3 matches, we are still in a fairly uncertain situation, in a state of flux when it comes to those tables. Obviously, some performances standing out more than others, but it's definitely still achievable because of the fact that we have got an 18 match set, right? We've been playing so far on 12 match sets time and time again, but moving over to that expanded 3-day approach, that 18 set, that's where consistency really comes into play. So it's teams that are able to earn 6, 7, 8 points on those games that are going to be the teams that will take those top spots, those podium positions.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's all about putting up as many points as you can early on, and consistency is going to be the king here at the end of the day. I mean, we saw in the group stage, right, E-Arena, 39 points in one single game, and they weren't even able to make it. I mean, straight to the finals. They had to deal with the survival stage, and let's be honest, I mean, luckily we're able to get here, right? So, I mean, but they're crushing it now. They did a great job in that last game, right? And so they're off to a strong start. Let's just see if they're able to keep that pedal to the metal. Aurora starting off strong is really good, because historically, they've always taken a long time, right, to really get warmed up. But for them to put some points on the board early just goes to show that come finals time, they're adjusting their strategies, and it's working out for them.
Maybe able to finally claim a title spot, that's what they're going to be looking for. Plenty of other teams looking to do so as well. I know there's plenty of fans in the crowd for Furia who are there, really giving them their backing, which has been nice to see. Hopefully they can keep up the pace towards the top side as well. But yeah, I mean, there is so much on the line. That trophy, a threat to so many, but a promise to only one of our teams.
Man, one of the sickest trophies you could put on your shelf. I love every single year I see it. I'm like, oh, you gotta get one. And this is what these teams have been hunting for. They've been working all year long to get here. And we can tell the teams that have prepped, and it's every single one of them. It's wild to see all these names, and the level of competition has never been so even, in my opinion, right? I mean, there is squads all across the board. They get a good couple zones, good couple situations. They're not messing around. They're going to take full advantage of it here. You talked about Furia, right? I think it's only a matter of time before we see them get a chicken dinner. We got to see some keys a little earlier. We saw that Team Vitality key, Tianba, 2 monster squads as well. So it's just really about that consistently, like you talked about. But you know what? We're in the final Erangel of the day, John. One thing that stands out to me, without a shadow of doubt, is Pachinki, right? What is going on there? That last game has to mean that something's got to switch up, right?
It has to. Something definitely has to change. For me, I feel like Enigma Galaxy, they kind of, well, certainly we know how consistently Ralph will just sacrifice tournaments to hold on to Pachinki. So for me, I'm just unsure as to why Ida made the decision to stick to that drop spot. There are obviously other opportunities, and it's sort of, it reads ego to me. It reads ego that they aren't disengaging. I liked Fourth Ride's adjustment. They were able to get in. They were able to get, I think, 2 eliminations right at the start of the match. Really, really nice stuff from that very peer position that they normally drop around. They were able to move on up. They exploited that situation. But I think that the second good decision that Fourth Ride's made in that scenario was not to hunt down Ralph, right? Because he's a solo. He's hiding in a corner. You don't know exactly where he is. You disengage. You don't go hunting, because a solo in a corner in Pachinki, you could lose a player to that very, very easily. So I liked their withdrawal there coming on through. The other side of a hot drop in Pachinki that is a massive factor, certainly for later into the mid and later game, is the fact that in a hot drop, you don't get that loot truck, and you can't get it double either, which means that it went over to Vitality during that last match. It goes over to other teams who just sit on that northwest side. It's also an incredibly clear indicator that a hot drop is happening to a team out there, so they can grab that one and send on in to maybe pick up the pieces.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights here before we get started, as these teams are going to get locked and loaded here in just a second here, folks. But yeah, you know, when we go back to that hot drop, it's wild to see. I've been kind of watching these two teams talk to each other all along here in Paris. And I'd see, you know, Enigma Galaxy players walk by Ida players. They kind of have some exchanging of words. And I was hoping they would kind of get this settled before the finals, because I think it's just a devastating loss for this to continue here for both of them. And in the last game, it showed, just like, because guess what? 4 Thrives. They came to party right after. They were like, oh, you know what? There's a silly fight happening in Pachinki. We'll take those eliminations, and they got some of them, right? So I think now that you have 4 Thrives, especially now on the hunt for this, it's got to make, you know, Ida and Enigma Galaxy have to start second thinking, I think, some things. But at the end of the day, like you said it, you know, for those of you guys that don't know Ralph's true name, it's Ralph Pachinki Sanchez Montero III. Okay. Pachinki is in the name, all right? And he will refuse to let it go. And I mean, they've dominated it, right? We saw them be able to take out Ida, but now that you have 4 Thrives coming into play, it's got to make you second guess things.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that dropping in Pachinki is in Ralph's will somewhere. For any eventually, hopefully, in the very far future. But if he keeps dropping in Pachinki in-game, he's certainly not going to have a long life expectancy. Aurora Gaming able to do the business, but we are going to head to a quick video whilst we get this lobby ready to rock for our last Pachinki today.
안녕하세요. 저는 농심 레드폭스의 엑지입니다. 여기는 현빈, 소이지, 키즈입니다.
프로 선수로서 경쟁하는 일은 항상 힘든 일입니다.
하지만 이런 플레이 라운지에 오게 되면 즐거운 게 되게 많죠. 저희가 이 플레이 라운지에 왔기 때문에 이 플레이 라운지에 있는 것들을 즐겨보겠습니다. 가시죠.
이 공간은 협력 공간입니다. 대회 측과 소통하거나 협력해야 될 일이 있으면 이곳에서 해결하실 수 있습니다.
EWC 공간에 있는 한 공간 중인 탁구장이 있는데 저희가 한번 재밌게 해보도록 하겠습니다. 오!
연습반이네 완전.
어이씨 뭐야?
여기는 여러 가지 즐길 것이 있는데요. 저희가 한번 다 체험해 보도록 하겠습니다.
대회를 할 때면 항상 배고플 때가 있는데 WC에서 제공해주는 음식이 있는데 그 품질이 아주 좋고 최고급이라고 해서 저희가 한번 먹으러 와봤습니다.
아 배고프다 빨리 가자.
Welcome back to the Hot Drop Watch here as we await the fate of Pachinki. It is still undetermined as to who is going to last the longest in that location, and if we may have a fourth, a fifth, or maybe even more teams. Perhaps everybody is going to Pachinki. It's going to be a 64-player brawl in the center of the map.
You know what? Ah, man, I want to see that action. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, if it was going to be possible, now would be the time because it's the last one of the day. But you know what? It's time to see what exactly is going to happen as we get into the map. Final Aaron Gale of day one of the finals. Now let's see who's going to be able to put some serious points on the board before we get into the sandy deserts of Miramar.
I mean, I'll take non-serious points at this stage. Of course, every single team would as well. Plane path on the west side of the mainland here, coming through from North George to the west point of Sosnovka military base. And it will be going fairly close to Pachinki, so we're not going to be denied it by the plane path. Hora out early over towards Saverny. Tiamba over into North George. I'm keeping an eye out to see if any of our teams on the hot drop are going somewhere else, but I'm really not holding my breath.
I kind of am here.
Oh.
You know what? I will say, yeah, you can see already here. Look at that. Looks like we're going to see another hot drop in Pachinki as Ida and Enigma Galaxy are headed in that direction.
Uh-oh.
Very, very interesting. I will say, though, we got to give massive props to Enigma Galaxy for being so high up on the leaderboards, considering that they've been dealing with this all day long here. I mean, they're in fourth place, 30 points. That's pretty insane.
Sure, I mean, they were able to take a chicken dinner towards the start of the day, right? So they do have a little bit of a foundation to try and do this with, but they could be so much further ahead without this situation. It looks like we're not going to see a fourth Thrives flex out. Instead, S2G are the closest by on the southwest side. Nongshim Red Force, who have yet to touch the floor of their parachute, could potentially also flex in from the southeast side, but I feel like S2G are the most likely right now to cause problems for Ida. Enigma Galaxy on the north side of Pachinki, they're split right now, but you can see Rita on that off angle could be quite important. Ralph seems like they know he's in this building, but the nade won't connect.
Yeah, that was a warning nade for sure. You can see Satan up on the roof here, or on this ledge, trying to get a little bit of information. He knows exactly where Rita is. It's a big stalemate, though. This is the hard part about these hot drops, and I can hear it. That loot truck is now driving on by. The precious loot. Satan's like, that should have been ours. I want it. No. Oh, Lord gets knocked. And did he get thirsted? No, he actually gets beat up pretty bad. Satan, through the door! What a clutch knock for this team.
Able to take out the off angle there, and Ida are going to really struggle to get back to this one. It's across the road, and I don't think you can break past that. The res, though, in the meantime, is going to be there, and because it's so early in the game, it's so much less likely that you've got the nades on side to just completely suppress that res position, which allows Enigma Galaxy to go back to 4 and leaves Ida stranded on 3. Rita getting knocked there is the most crucial part of that fight, Jukes.
Man, that was an insane shot there from Satan. I mean, that's that game sense, guys. Shooting right through the door. He knew he was there, and he makes the play for his team. It's one of those micro plays, right? That when you make that kind of play, it just changes the entire situation for your squad. And now, because of that, Enigma Galaxy up ahead against Ida.
They still have to get a little bit more pace to it, though. And Ida are retreating now right to the southeast point of Pachinki. They've read that immediately Satan can move out, get this position on the off angle that they were previously in control of. The fact that they're aware of that is good, but you're just going to keep losing players. At this stage, I feel like Nui Galaxy definitely have had a better result so far in this Pachinki hot drop. They were very ready for it. As you said, they will have known, they will have been aware that this is unfurled.
Yeah, and what are you going to do if you're Ida at this point? I mean, look where they're at on the leaderboards. I mean, this is crazy. 16th place, only 2 points so far. If I'm their coach, anybody that is in the leadership of this team, I'm like, give it up, guys. We lost. I mean, I get it, right? Day one, you're going to battle it out with Enigma Galaxy to see if you can conquer this location, but it's an L. Like, you got to at some point realize that this is not going to work for us. If we want to be able to do well in this tournament, I mean, Erangel is the majority of the maps we're going to be playing here. We cannot afford to continue doing this.
It is pretty devastating. They have only lost one player this time around, but the loot is going to be fairly thin on the ground. The vehicle condition, like, I don't know, man. It's really cutting the legs out from underneath themselves.
It's terrible. I mean, you're down a player. You don't get the loot truck. You don't get any. You're under looted at this point. I mean, it's just a loss overall. And where they stand on the leaderboards is a pure reflection of that. So. Yeah, you know, I always say that when it comes to these kind of hot drops or these situations in general, I really do think these need to be settled in rehearsals, you know, in the pre-matches where it's like, hey, you know what, guys? Have a little handshake agreement. We're going to drop in Pachinki this game. Whoever wins it gets it, you know? Fair enough.
Yeah, well, I don't think that would ever happen. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of understand. It is a question, right, that is rooted in a lot more, I think, subjective opinion for a lot of people. Sure. Because you have that question of, if we give up our drop spot, are we just going to be easily pushed around in the future, right? Like, are you trying to do that sort of thing? I mean, it's like negotiating contracts, negotiating business there. It is one strategy is to just be like, okay, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. But you can hold your nerve. And if you guys want to be the best, then you guys need to hold your nerve. And you can look good doing it using the Naruto skins here. Make sure you're heading into game. Get that character set. Get that Ninetales Fury AUG skin. Get that one developing as well, because you can get some variations on that bad boy.
Yeah, you want to be maxing that bad boy out and looking real good. As you know, Tiambos have been looking really good today. They're in 4th place, 31 points. Milu, man, the way he started off that Rondo match was just crazy. Wild. I mean, this man has been performing all tournament long for his squad. He had, for sure, right, the play of the tournament. That 1v4 earlier in the group stage was so sick. Yeah. And then come finals time, the way he started out, they are looking really good.
Absolutely. They are currently in 4th place right now. Looking to try and keep themselves within striking distance of that 1st place spot. Godlike would love to try and join them, but they are a little bit more destitute on that points front with only 8 towards the bottom of those tables. Another circle heading up towards the north side, split by that central river. A lot of open ground south of Severny, being covered actually mostly by Aura, who have a wide spread around the river, are causing a lot of problems. I'm interested to see how many teams look to head east of Yasnaya. Furia likely going to do so. Could potentially see that from teams who are still on the military island, by the way, Aurora and Al-Ula. And maybe we'll see it from one of the 2 teams who are still in Pachinki too, because, well, it looks like Ida looking to push back in and re-engage. Enigma Galaxy have been working the ground in the meantime, snaffling up all that loot and checking every corner. Or at least I hope they are. Yeah, they better be, that's for sure. I mean, you can definitely tell they're keeping their head on a swivel here. They got to know that Ida's around here somewhere. They're just clearing building by building with Satan on the other side, rocking a 3-1 split. Got to be careful, though. One nade could be dangerous. Oh, the shots ring on out, and the knock onto Coops is huge. He's got another nade as well. Coops is in danger here. Ralph does need to get some healing done before he can go for that revive, but he should be okay to do it. You can't step forwards and go for the cross. And again, Satan is on that off angle. Just about misses Swain on the cross, but he should be able to call that one out. Should have spotted it. Lord is already cooking a nade. He knows he's in the building now. Launches it forwards and he takes it down. Beautiful communication.
The plays from Nigma Galaxy in Pachinki are just insane. How do they do these wild bounce back shots, nades that just turn the fight in their direction? This just goes to show you, when you know this side of the map like the back of your hand, it's gonna pay dividends.
In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force and Fourth Rise are going head to head. And at the moment, it looks like Fourth Rise are in the driver's seat. This is out to the east side of Potato Hill, but they are grabbing a couple of flushes on board as well. As we keep going with this hot drop though. Yeah, Nongshim Red Force, they're going to try and get out, just leave a solo survivor coming on through. And another knock goes on in. This is Nigma Galaxy sweeping it under the rug. They're putting this hot drop to bed. It cannot come back tomorrow. It would be a terrible idea.
I can't stress how difficult this is to do, right? To be able to deal with this hot drop so frequently and to just execute in this perfect fashion. I mean, not losing a single player, getting those four points early on is just insane.
There was a hard north shift on the circle in the meantime. We are watching all of this hot drop unfold, but it is pushing teams now north very, very quickly, which is causing conflict around the crossings as Coops finds the final player on Eda. And down they go. All four players from Nigma Galaxy are there, and no third party came on through as well. Now we're going to jump over towards the teams that are looking to put pressure on up towards the north side. We talked a little bit about Nongshim Red Force losing 3 of their players. Fourth Rise lost 1, but they did manage to get the 3 points for that fight. They are both still south of the river. Ulf Orangutan now on this northern side of Roshok River, and trying to get their foothold to move in towards those shooting range hills, potentially over towards Saverny Way.
Yeah, we've been really focused on that Pachinki fight for so long. This zone is all the way up to the north, like you mentioned. We already got Fudia up there in Saverny, E-Arena over by shooting range right now, taking that Snake Hill position. And now we're gonna see a lot of these teams start make that rotation. Aurora Gaming, oh, the one rock! You gotta hit it for good luck.
That's a map open right there. Guaranteed. 100% looking at the map.
Yeah.
No ways.
I think we're going to go here, guys.
You're going to go again? Oh, no. Okay, we're getting a little replay. This is on the Fourth Rise and Nongshim Red Force fight. They'd already lost T24, but the hold from Hazaifa, the angles that he was able to clock, it seems, pretty efficacious on the high ground there. Love to see it for Fourth Rise. Aurora on their crossing, run into Vitality. Looks like they may have run their last across these bridges. This western hold looking quite good for Vitality, who, for the time being, have been a little bit quieter, I think it's safe to say, than their group stage performances, but they're still very much there. They're still very much present. Certainly their presence is being felt by Aurora on their northwest side.
Vitality. Oh, southern shift here, and a big southern shift. This actually might be really good for the side of Nigma Galaxy, as they're going to be mushing in super late here. And are you kidding me? If this zone actually south shifts one more time to Roz, that would be devastating for this lobby. Aurora, I'm trying to figure out, what do you think they're doing here, right? They're over there by North George, splitting up, maybe trying to find some late loot.
Well, I mean, they were being held out by Vitality,
yeah,
right? So
you're right.
They're just trying to take a turn around the town to maybe allow Vitality to disengage and then maybe re-engage later on, see what they can do with a little bit less pressure from the river crossing on that front. Team Flash over on the east side need to settle their score with Alola to try and get towards the circle. And it is not looking pretty for Alola. They lose a player. Not a good start, but yeah, it would be kind of mental to send all the way down to Roshok. It'd be great for Nigma Galaxy, right? They're still just on the north side of Pachinki, so they could just take up that mountain and lickety-split, get themselves another chicken dinner. Godlike, in the meantime, on the hunt in the middle. Getting stuff done, getting bits out to Aura, and it seems that they are going to be able to take at least one and get the flush for Godlike.
Mormon, the nade looks good. Puts them all the way down to 1 HP. Mormon, pow, pow, pow. That's 12K getting the finish. And look at that. I mean, teammate instantly there with the vehicle to make sure that they can get him over to safety. So Aura going to have to go out pretty early here in this game. Only one single player up, see what he can do later on. But now we're off to the gas station with a Furia. Keeping their eyes onto Team Flash. Win has the P90 and the ghillie suit. So he definitely won that crate drop. He came out absolutely stacked to the teeth and hits the tree for good luck. That is a necessary thing to do here, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bold
Just a
strategy.
Little tap on the tree.
Tap, tap, tap.
Little shout out to Mother Nature there, just saying hi. And then...
Gotta make sure it's secure.
Yeah, and then proceeding to unleash lead into the hillsides around him. Hopefully. With that P90. Team Flash getting out of dodge from this east side could be tricky. S2G managed to make their way to one of the buildings here that is this lineup from S2G, from Orangutan, from Tianba, and from Ulf. On this lineup, very central on the circle, some very defensible positions, but teams will start to crowd in around them. Vitality and Aurora, this is the re-engage, Dukes.
Here they go, they're battling it again, and it looks like Aurora are on top so far with that knock on a Razak. Here you can see Zol driving around, trying to get some information. Federalis up close and personal, having to run back. Oh, it's Godlike on the other side. Yeah, that's too dangerous. Vitality need to disengage this as their 6 is not covered, but Razy is driving up close and personal, giving an opportunity for Reeves to put some shots onto him. And yeah, it's just down to these 2 players left for Aurora. This fight would have definitely went off earlier, but that third party from Godlike bought Aurora Gaming some time.
A little bit, but now they're down to 2. And Vitality doing a little bit of nade there, not ideal. E-Arena in the meantime trying to find their way in on the north side, but it's not looking super accessible right now. And now seems like they're engaged with the final player from Horror. Sleepy is holding it, but in the meantime a crash. S2G trying to roll across, but Tiamba are holding face against it, and they are not going to let S2G in without a fight. Aurora want to jump in and join the party here. A nade in, that could be brutal there, right under his feet. Is it going to blast him down? But there's an answer, and Reefus falls. A third knock over towards Tiamba, but now everybody has been isolated and evacuated from this fight. Nobody's left to put the pressure on this triple knock.
Are you kidding me? It looked like these guys were fighting in a lake of fire here. QZ in the center of it. And Top could have been there to make that play, but unfortunately, there are too many teams surrounding him, and it stopped that crucial third party.
Oh, another nade from Top. Doesn't quite connect there. There is an answering nade, and that is going to back Top off nicely. The run around there. Orangutan maybe missing a beat there, maybe missing a trick. Not able to flex out. Didn't quite have the angles on it.
Top!
Oh, Top just about behind the concrete there to keep him safe from catch, but they know exactly where he is. He's got 2 smokes. He is slap bang in the middle of the circle, though, Jukes, and that might be a little bit of a help until another team rocks up with nowhere to go. They're going to roll right on top of this guy.
Yeah, Top's cooked right now. He's just like, I think I'm just going to lay down right here.
He's on the simmer.
For as long as I possibly can. No standing up for me. It's straight hit the deck time on the side of Top. But hey, you know what? That's good, right? He's got a good position in zone. They're pretty high up on the leaderboard, so they can just kind of hang on and get some placement points. That'll be good for him. But meanwhile, I mean, Tianba on a tear. 7 eliminations. Fortunate for them. They're able to get everybody back up here, and they're in a solid position in this circle as we now look on over to Furia. Igor hopping out the vehicle here, getting punished by E-Arena for it.
Oh, it's not going well. It is not going well for Furia. Unfortunate, they're just going to be down to Chief, the other 2 players down on the hillside. Tiamba, by the way, managed to fend off a triple team crash on their compound, right? They're now on 7 eliminations. They have done phenomenal stuff. It's likely they're going to have to fend off at least 1 more, but the number of crates around them is going to be ludicrous. They're going to have to try and figure out exactly what they want to put in their backpacks as Flash try to find their way through, thread the needle, but E-Arena are just going to roll it down. Mormon over the top. Doesn't even need to ring the doorbell to open that door. And Tops has to turn tail. Turney K sees to it. He's going to get backed off by a third party. I think that might be Orangutan chiming in. And now Tops has to head towards 4th Thrive, so nowhere real to go for him as Hyunbin finally bites the dust, the last player alive for Nongshim Red Force.
E-Arena are putting some good points on the board here. I mean, they're having to really battle it out, holding the edge of that circle, because there's a lot of open field in this zone. And now you're going to see 4th Thrives 6 eliminations so far. Falak with 2, Zypha with 3.
It's keeping Rozog in.
Oh my, I just saw that circle shift. Are you kidding me? Enigma Galaxy, they'll take that all day long, right? Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to get a little reward for those crazy hot drop efforts, and they'll definitely take that one to the bank.
Yeah, that's going to be friendly for them for the time being. For them, I feel like a good strategy is to start scouting the other side of the river now, though. I feel like you need to get someone in fast. The difficulty, of course, is that 4 thrives, and now Vitality is starting to move in, and they don't have an outpost there. Move over to the bridge, a little bit out of the zone.
Yeah.
I feel like somehow you've got to find a coastal position on that riverbank. And if you hold towards the warehouse, towards the triple stack, it's just going to be a bleed out for Enigma Galaxy. The placements aren't really going to be enough. Yeah, I want a little bit more forward thinking there as Aurora lose their final player top. Could not stay hidden for too much longer. 4 thrives though, getting crashed on.
Here they go. E-Arena not messing around here, just full sending it, non-stop aggression from this team. And it's been paying off so far, and that's why you can see them on top. Orban hopping on out, trying to hit that flick shot onto Zypha. Zypha's really hurt here. Great teamwork though from E-Arena, picking apart the likes of 4 thrives.
Zypha has been so difficult to deal with, but E-Arena the only team to be able to take him down, and it took at least 3 of them. Tourniquet goes down with him, but 10 eliminations now for E-Arena. Very possible to get this res. This is the chance though for Enigma Galaxy to move across, and look at Ralph, he's getting over. Coops is looking to join him. This is the perfect opportunity whilst these teams on the east are preoccupied. A little bit slow to get the third party, but it is a good first step. I like what they've been able to do there. We've seen counterpointed river cross positions in 2-2 splits work well in the past. I'm hoping they can leverage that here. I'm a little bit disappointed in Orangutan on the north side. I feel like they could have poked their noses into that fight and third partied it as well. Moved a little bit further out to the east, been fairly safe from Tiamba and gotten stuck in there, but they hold inside. And I don't think it was going to be enough.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed here in the EWC is the quickness these teams are ready to third party and take those opportunities. And it's just kind of surprising to see OG just kind of hold back there for a second. Enigma Galaxy, just due to the terrain, weren't able to even think about getting that third party. But because of that fight, it opened the door for them to be able to at least make that safe rotation and get that 2-2 split going that you were talking about. So let's see how they're able to capitalize onto it, though. As now is the calm before the storm. We are in stage number 5. All these teams just planning it out, trying to figure out, okay, if the zone goes over here, we're going to have to make these plays. If the zone stays on us, then GG, baby. We just shoot at everything in sight.
Yeah, we're going to get the next zone unveiling itself in the next 20 seconds or so. It's Godlike try and keep their ridgeline in play. This is a replay of the roll-up. Okay, this is when E-Arena crashed on towards 4 thrives. Falak. Yeah, went down very quickly there to Joker. Not much you can do about that. When the flying vehicle launches over the top, the bunny rabbits bound on into your sightlines. He wasn't ready for it, which is kind of unfortunate. Next circle, though, comes in Jukes, and it will head over to the west. So I think the Galaxy do have to get on the road. Ulf fairly happy in their compound, but Godlike are putting pressure on.
Yeah, Godlike. Remember, as Power said, the domination starts now. Let's see if they can actually make that thing, though, as they got Ulf right behind them. They're super pinched, making it very difficult for them to make a play from their position. And now you can see Scarface getting up close and personal. As Power trying to smoke some things out, buy his teams some time. It's going to be up to him and Edmino, though, as they are just trying to hold this spot. Unfortunately for them, though, it's outside of circle. Yeah, so now Ulf are in a perfect position to gate cardi this. Oh, nice shots though from Admino, but unfortunately those smokes are perfectly put, and he's not able to get the thirst.
The nade is up high, doesn't quite go the distance. It went completely out of his viewing angle there. If it had been just a little bit further, that could have been a straight knock there. S-Power gets across. Just to get some healing started as well, but that blue zone pressure is coming through. We're looking at OG and E-Arena, as well as Enigma Galaxy, also having to make moves in the meantime, Dukes, and move in from this east edge. Tiamba are gonna have to move. There is a lot of teams that have to make some difficult decisions now, and OG are making it right now. They're gonna roll straight on forwards, try and get dead center here and contest with Enigma Galaxy on the coastline into Vitality sightlines as well. They drop down, and 3 of them managed to get across, not unscathed, but alive.
Great IQ of a rotation. They knew that one little plateau was right there. They were able to head straight towards it. They get their safe. Coops in trouble. The closest nade, he's done. Oh, able to get the heel off and now get some shots downrange. Headshot onto Mormon. Joker right there next to him though. Can Coops get to safety? No, he gets knocked, and E-Arena are going to continue to apply that pressure, getting that thirst immediately there onto Coops. Enigma Galaxy just getting picked apart. That 2-2 split not working out.
That was insane for Coops to be able to do so much damage on that angle. He really held Ralph in the game there, and are leaving Enigma Galaxy on 3. Orangutan lost players on the center as well. They are now down to just 2 as E-Arena make the same mad dash. The mad crash against Tianbao will not work out for them, and E-Arena evaporated.
The arena evaporated and they end up feeding the beast that is Tianba. They did put some good points on the board for them, and I love to see that aggression. Let's see if Tianba, though, can put even some more points and get this chicken dinner. They already have 10 eliminations. They're looking pretty unstoppable. S-Power forced to hit the deck. Oh, now with those sight lines just punishing them. I mean, they have this position locked down.
You needed Admino to be on an angle there to suppress Ulf, but no, not quite there, not quite ready, didn't have the presence, and it's a difficult spot on the north side, so I can't really blame them too much there. Now the transition to the rest of the circle. A knock over towards Tianba, and the final flush onto Godlike as well. Another nade over towards Tianba. They're getting caught in the crunches. Enigma Galaxy move up the hill. They're challenging Orangutan. They're challenging Tianba. They're doing a lot on this eastern side. Enigma Galaxy strike at the opportune moment.
Perfect timing there for Enigma Galaxy. They understand the situation. Hey, we got to push up. We can't just sit back and relax, wait for them to come to us. And you can see Lord with those nades applying the pressure. I think they need to slow things down a little bit, though. The circle is coming. The circle will push these teams out, so you want to make sure you hold on to all of that utility up until that last and final second. And I think they realize that. That's why they're starting to hold on to those nades. But the shots ringing out. Eagle getting a nice knock on Aaron. That's their biggest threat right now.
Catch, though, with the response over to QZZ, and it leaves Eagle alone. Dropping that smoke, the zone starts closing in 15 seconds, so this res needs to be now. It needs to come through as fast as possible to be able to be in a position to move out. Orangutan lose their final player.
Gone.
And it is going to go down to Enigma Galaxy, who are now up on 7 elims. Their transition from across the river has gone so well for them.
What a game from Enigma Galaxy, getting hot dropped over and over and over. They take out Ida in just a beautiful fashion, and now with this fortunate zone shift are putting the punishment on this lobby as they take down Eagle from Tianba.
Now QZZ will go down too, and Tianba knocked out. They managed to get a whole host of points though, 14 on the match, and they will keep themselves in the running for the podium. Enigma Galaxy looking to join them. There's not enough room for both of you got to organize it. Back to front, stand the line. But Vitality gonna have to leave as well from their cover on that south edge.
Does Solus not see Satan right there in that corner? He had to see him now. No, he's too focused downhill. Oh, never mind. It's gonna be Axel that catches him out. So it's all up to Vitality. Axel, the last player up. Is he able to survive?
Oh, Ralph gets knocked as well. Ulf are captaining from this compound for quite a while now. They haven't had to leave it. And when they do, it's against 2 duo teams with one of their players on either side knocked. For Ulf, this should be a clean sweep. There are no two ways about it, but it might get a little bit hairy. Lord is shut out first, and Aaron doesn't even hit the deck. A 2v4 here would be needed for Vitality, and they are getting cut across, sliced and diced. Ulf are on the hunt. Downhill, they roll on in, and it's just Razy to stand in their way. The smoke billows, the P90 at hand. You couldn't ask for a better setup, but Ulf are here, and they have the nades, the ordnance to blast them apart at the seams.
And that is how you do it, folks. Ulf just taking full opportunity there and capitalizing it on it. We love to be able to see that. That building so strong, it was in circle all the way up there towards the end, but they didn't just sit on their hands, right? They just saw, they hunted down every elimination they possibly could, and then once they realized that those teams were weak, they pushed out immediately and were able to get it done.
Some real heads-up plays, some proactive plays during that match. I mean, we focused a lot at the start on the hot drop. but the rotations up towards the north side also came in to be really impactful later on into that match, right? It was the teams that got there early that had the staying power. For me, a highlight of that game was also Tiamba holding off against the triple crash. It was Alula, followed by S2G, followed by Aurora. Everybody wanted to get into that central compound, but they denied them access at every single turn. It was a shame that Tiamba couldn't go the full distance. They did get shut out. And I feel like for Orangutan, they could have had more of an impact on that northeast side that would have changed the tune there. And hopefully they can find those opportunities in the future. It would be great to see them perform at the level we know them to be capable of from their performance in the group stage, but it is looking pretty powerful on multiple fronts.
It's so tough. I mean, everybody here is playing just hyper aggression, zero hesitation gameplay here live in Paris. The second you see an opportunity, these teams are taking it. One team in particular, right? We got to talk about it. Is E-Arena. Just straight aggression there towards the end game. They soak up a ton of eliminations. Unfortunately, don't get the chicken dinner, but when you get that many elims, that's a good game no matter what.
Yeah, that fight with 4 Thrives over the ridgeline worked out well for them. And again, the lack of third party allowed them to keep in the match for a lot longer. They were down to just a single player standing at one point, but they managed to get back to 3 to recover that pressure without any third party look-ins coming on through. And yeah, for E-Arena, it's a good result. I would even say it's a great result to keep them at the top of the tables, to keep, well, I don't know if they're actually at the top of the tables anymore. We'll have to double check that, but a man who could find out is Kalaris down on the stage with E-Arena.
I'll try my best, John Allen. Yes, that's right. E-Arena looking fantastic so far, so let's ask them a few questions about the games here to get things rolling. So first things first, your previous win going up against Furia. Were you surprised by Furia's approach to the late game? And talk to me about that late game in general after you got the win.
ในเกมที่เราต้องเจอกับฟิวเรียนะฮะในเกมที่เราชนะเมื่อสักครู่เนี่ยฮะตอนที่เราเจอกับเรารู้สึกเซอร์ไพรส์ไหมกับวิธีที่ฟิวเรียเล่นเพลย์สไตล์ของฟิวเรียในเกมนั้นครับ
ก็แปลกใจครับแต่ก็รู้ว่าเขาเล่นอย่างนั้นอยู่ครับก็เลยไม่ได้ตื่นเต้นเลยครับ
Well, we expected, but we still surprised with how they're approaching the teams. But even though the last result is that they're winning the games.
Okay, so you guys got very close to qualifying via the group stage and then came really close to not qualifying via the survival stage. So has there been any difference in approach here to the final? What has the team talked about to adjust here coming into the finals of PMWC?
ก็ขนาดที่2นะฮะในกรุ๊ปสเตจเราก็เกือบที่จะได้ควอลิฟายแล้วส่วนในรอบ survival stage เราก็เกือบที่จะตกรอบแล้วด้วยซ้ำในตอนนั้นอยากถามว่าในตอนนี้รู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับ
ก็พอเราเข้าไฟนอลมาได้ใช่ไหมครับก็ทุกอย่างก็เริ่มใหม่ครับทุกคนเริ่มจากศูนย์เราก็เริ่มจากศูนย์ก็เลยไม่กดดันอะไรกันครับ
Well, right now we have zero pressure at all. So we are here to win, of course. And it's since everyone, this is a new day, new group. So this is a champion group now. Everyone's starting at the 0 point. So that's no different. And we're gonna claim all the glory back to Thailand.
Okay, so that does it then. Well, thank you very much for the answers. That does it down here on the stage. We'll be with you for more from PMWC in just a moment.
Today, our players are taking on a brand new challenge, Drop Hunt. Each team will be split into 2 pairs, with each pair receiving their own map. 5 locations are marked on the map and hidden in the player lounge area. At each location is a mystery envelope. The mission is simple: find them, grab them, and bring them back. But there's a catch. There are only 5 envelopes, and each one is worth 20 points. The team that collects the most envelopes wins Drop Hunt. Ready, set, hunt.
Mana kita? Iya, so. Mana ya? Ini bang. Sini bang. Kita stiker di sini bujang. Kita di sini aja. Coba tengok mapnya lagi. Mereka mana tengok di daerah sini? Kayak mana cara dapat amplopnya anjing? Tengok tahu cara. Mereka. Ini kah? Mana si amplopnya? Pernah diambil harusnya. Lihat. Mana? Di sini. Viewing di situ, viewing. Viewing ini nggak sih? Mau kita orang aja gitu. Iya, serangin aja mereka, ayo. Woi, Rai. Pet. Sini, Pet. Mau mati juga kan jangan. Ini, Pet. Ambil, Pet. Lari, Pet. Lari, Pet. Jam.
Much. They had 1 or 2 fights in the mid stage of the game, OG more notably, but then they were able to just hold their position, wait for the right time, and then once that time struck, Max, they were all over that final circle.
Yeah, I mean, really able to get himself some good presence at the end, keeping 4 players alive, which is my biggest issue with them since PMGO Season 1 in Jakarta this year. And you know what? They're able to finally get it done. I told you, they're a slow starting team. We're getting to the finals. We're finally starting to see these more dominant finishes from Ulf. But second place, Nemo Galaxy. I got a segment later on, but you know what? It's good to see that once they do get out of the hot drop 7, they can actually put up big points.
They can put up those big points. Talking about big points here for some teams, it was none other than Godlike and OG. This was a match that they really needed Lace because the middle of the pack teams were eliminated very early on. They needed to be able to catch up, but both teams were only able to catch 5 points apiece.
I mean, look, it's still a great improvement from them. And being so, they had like that kind of control in the middle of zone. So they were there for that early rotate. I would have liked to sort of see, I guess, OG apply a little bit more pressure to their eastern side. But still, to get to that point after the first couple of matches is a better thing for them. Obviously, we talk about slow starting teams, and they are one of them. But I do believe that coming into like the next match, we're probably going to see them a little bit more active. I mean, they need to be a little bit more active in that. But to get to that, I guess, spot that they have, it's a lot better than the previous match.
It is. And one team that was able to, that's also been starting off slow, but finally being able to wake up, Max, none other than 4Thrives. 4Thrives getting 8 eliminations this last match.
Good to see. Finally, good to see it. Especially a lot of those eliminations actually secured on 2 teams that were interesting. You had Team Flash a little bit early on in that game too. That was fun to see how they won that little bit of an encounter. Huzaifa in particular, he carried that fight from start to finish.
Did.
Really good numbers from Huzaifa. But they had a very good early rotation, and you could say a bad rotation from Nongshim Red Force, where they catched them off guard. They didn't expect to clash next to Potato Hill. And you know 4Thrives, right, Nipchira? If they can take a fight and you are in a weakened state, they're going to chase you down until the edge of the earth, and that's what they did, and Nongshim Red Force took a massive L there. So 4Thrives, if you know where they're going to rotate, I would try and avoid them because they don't like having neighbors around them.
No, they don't. And even in this state of where we're seeing them of just kind of indecision, I think they don't really know what's going on. But it is nice to see that, they're still a threat even in this state. And it's just been really difficult for me to watch 4Thrives because I'm used to a very confident team that knows exactly what they're doing at all times. And I can tell that they're not sure what's wrong, why this isn't really happening. There's a little bit of the old spark there in this last game. hesitating just too much.
Didn't you say like something about T24 going out a lot early recently?
He
Like
goes
that's
out
been a big issue,
really
right?
early. Yeah, and he's one of the big fraggers. He's really up and coming as a big fragger for the team. So for him to go out early, yes, Joseph is able to clutch, but you know, T24, they need a fourth player. They need somebody like him on that squad to just stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, T24 was able to start slow during groups as well. Then he was able to pick it up. But right here in the finals, you don't want to be starting slow. So that's one team we'll definitely be looking to see bounce back. One team that has been really consistent, especially with eliminations, we talked about it earlier, Lace, is none other than Tiamba. Tiamba just keeps putting up those eliminations in a big, big way.
They absolutely have, and I also want to add into that, like, keeping up those sort of eliminations. It's also E-Arena. Like, we sort of like look at these two powerhouse squads, and we're gonna have to get a mashup with these two teams because they are making it in those top 5 positions. They are clearing their space. They're grabbing the eliminations along the way. Even in a fight where I think it was Enigma Galaxy could have pushed E-Arena a lot earlier in their position, but for whatever reason, I'm sure Max will cover it, they didn't sort of get into that contention, but E-Arena just kept making power plays for the spot that they want. Tiamba is also making those power plays to get the position that they want. And obviously early eliminations, especially in today, is what will capitalize you for going into tomorrow. So this steady, I guess, excel in eliminations has been awesome from both of these squads.
Yeah, especially for E-Arena, right? Remember what we saw of E-Arena in day 1 of their Group B?
Big
they
bang,
were
meta
able to
downfall.
get those 29 eliminations in Rondo, and then after that, they kind of just ended up dying off us. We're actually going to be looking at a comparison between Group Day 1 and also what they're doing here in the finals. And something that I want you to keep in mind is the placement that this team is currently being able to put up, being able to survive even longer, and the eliminations are even higher because they have been consistent with those eliminations.
They have been very, very consistent. It's been back-to-back-to-back games of just really good placement, good strategy, good synergy with the team as well. They look fairly confident. The lobby is hard. I'm going to say that. It is a very, very difficult lobby, night and day from the group stage, from the survival stage, but they are handling it very well. I do want to say very quickly, what I loved about the fight with For Thrives, right? That dip, the way they use the terrain, because there's a bit of a cliff area there, it's a dip, and then you got those 2 cliffs, and what actually they ended up using is they went off the cliff, back behind For Thrives, and then used that terrain where they couldn't actually see to move around in front of them as well. So it gave the illusion that they were everywhere at once when really they weren't. And for a team that is slightly struggling like For Thrives, that was just the death knell. So very well played by EA. Good knowledge of the terrain and great synergy overall.
It was a magic trick almost.
It was.
Houdini.
It really was.
Max, there is something that has been pretty much pissing us off when we talk about Erangel, and that is the hot drops that we're seeing between Enigma Galaxy and none other than Ida. It's good for Enigma Galaxy right now, but Ida is just, they're just squandering their hopes.
Yeah, I mean, Enigma Galaxy, you saw what we could do when they can actually get out of the hot drop, but here you go, Pachinki, Enigma Galaxy dropping there since the 1990s at this point, and Ida going to be joining up on this one. And initially I was like, okay, Ida, you should not be going for this hot drop. You know as a clear-up fact that Enigma Galaxy will never give up this location. And it's almost getting to the point for me, Niptura, where I'm thinking, Enigma Galaxy, maybe this would be a good opportunity for you to start leaving, because Ida are not just ruining your Erangels, they're ruining your entire tournament run so far.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? Because for Enigma Galaxy, it's like Ida is the newcomers. They need to get out. Clearly, it's not working for them. They have 2 points over the entire day. 1, 2, that's it. But you're right, Enigma Galaxy is ending up ruining their tournament chances as well, because we are seeing really good performances from Enigma. I love how they've been playing, but they're just entering the zone way too late because of Ida.
Yeah, of course, we did say this game was good, right? Because they got out of the hot drop as a 4-man team. They lose a single player. I promise you, they do not get a finish like that. They do not get that many points. So right now, Enigma Galaxy, I would say there are other options available, and I understand it's your drop, you've been there for the longest time, but I do not care at this point which team leaves. One team has to leave. This is a waste of time, and it's making me angry, and I'm just looking at that on the early game.
Can I also just interject here and go, Ida, what are you doing? Because this is a team, remember, that got in through the group stage. They were second in their group. They had a fantastic second day. They won like 3 of the games. They were hyper aggressive. We know this is a team that can play very well, but they're wasting everything on a hot drop 3 times in a row. Yeah. Again, they have 2 points. You're not gonna win on 2 points.
And teams are starting to notice this is such a waste of time. Like For Thrives, I think it was on one of the Erangels early in Ipchiro, they like just instantly third party it. And now teams are going around Pachinki waiting for the loot truck to come out because they know no one is going to get that loot truck because they're so focused on that clash between Nigma Galaxy and Ida. Of course here, big respect, by the way. Nigma Galaxy, the smokes and the way they started pushing these solo players, that was very well executed. But one mistake, one slight error, and you lose a player, and instantly your chances of a win dwindle to almost nothing.
Well, we know exactly what happened when Fourth Rives joined the party, right? Nigma Galaxy lost a couple of players, and then we didn't really see them in that game. They went out fairly early on. They had to full send. Game one, they had to full send to the beach and just kind of stay there. There was no opportunity for them to get any points whatsoever. So, yeah, for Nigma, this is bad on both sides. I'm mad at Ida for initiating this every single game, but Nigma need to figure out how to adapt to this.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to adapt to this. If I had to pick one team to stop hot dropping in Pachinki, it wouldn't be Nigma, because Nigma has been getting the better end of this, especially they showcased what they were able to do in the last match. They're getting the eliminations too, so Nigma Galaxy, keep on doing your thing. If you're Ida, get the heck out of town. You need to find a different spot. But when we were talking about some of the, you gotta pretty much see here just the finish of this engagement between these squads. You know what, Max, Lace, who would you want to see just give up this hot drop between Nigma and Ida?
It's got to be Ida, right? Like
it has to be.
Like they're not even getting any further into the late game. They should have just made the decision to sort of rotate from this position. I mean, you know, I was kind of touching on, I think, Nigma Galaxy a little bit later into the zone, how they're making slow decisions. But again, this is slowing their decision. But
yeah,
Ida just, yeah.
Look, by the way, look on the left side of your screen. While they're still in their looting stage, technically, right? So hot drop's a bit weird, it's a bit different. You have Nongshim Red Force fighting Fourth Rives on their first rotation after the looting stage. This is, look, even here, you have the fight Orangutan fighting Ulf. Everything is happening. In the game, teams are not going to wait for you. And while that's happening, you're still in your initial drop location and you have no scouting done. The loot truck, you can see on the left side of your screen, he came back for round two. Round two, and the fight is still not done. What are we doing?
It's okay, Max.
This is Picado Red Buildings all over again. It's really annoying. It's Picado Red Buildings all over again, Max. I mean, we get so mad at that hot drop, and we still have the Miramars to go. So if either of you hot drop Red Building Picado, I am going to come over to your table, and I'm going to
moonwalk.
Be aggressive. Yes, I'm going to moonwalk.
Look, okay.
I'm going to hee-hee at you.
TLDR.
Very aggressively.
TLDR for the entire segment. We don't like it. End of story.
Yeah.
Unless you're Nigma Galaxy. Nigma Galaxy currently in third place. You have E-Arena right now in first place with 48 points. Tiamba continuing on those consistency of eliminations. This is the main story for Tiamba right now. 45 points, 37 coming from the Elims. And if we start going down, we are seeing one team that has been going down as the day has been going on. And it's none other than Aurora, Max.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still have not seen the comeback of Doc, right? I would even take the dockening at this point. I would be like, I want to see something come out of it. But yeah, they've definitely been slowing down quite significantly. Keep in mind, they've got 11 placement points, sure, but they got second place on the first rondo. That's 6 placement points. After that, the rest of the day is only 5 placement points after 3 Erangels back to back to back. Quite disappointing, especially when it's just outside of Ferry Pier. I was expecting way more. They're slipping down, and especially when Ulf now, they just got a 4-man finish. You know, Ulf are going to be chasing for that podium spot.
I mean, for me, I'm not too worried about Aurora right now. They've had a good start to the day or start to the finals, and we do know that this is a team that really waits until the last minute to actually do something. They just do just enough to stay ahead. But the problem is when you're seeing teams like Ulf, like Vitality, we haven't even seen Vitality at their best yet. You know, teams like this that are going to be coming up and gaining that momentum as the days go on, Aurora are going to get left behind pretty quickly.
So you are worried or you're not worried?
I'm on the fence as of right now. At the end of the day, I'll be a bit worried.
Okay, because you say I'm not worried, and then you started sounding very worried to me.
I'm not too worried.
It started to sink in. She's like, oh, actually, this isn't looking too good.
She just kept saying more teams, and I'm like, okay. That sounds like you're contradicting yourself here. Fourth Rives ends up finding themselves here in the first page, but going here towards the second page, we really haven't seen much lays out of S2G. With Furia, it's been a hit of a miss, and then we got some of the other squads there.
S2G are getting busy, right? But they are sort of like losing the contests on these fights. They're able to get the placement points. It's been great. Chicken dinners are coming through, but it's kind of like more of a gifted scenario in a lot of segments. But you've heard me about Fury, guys. I'm not going to go on about that. But what
No driver's license,
well, I won't carry on about that. But look, I even just want to touch on Vitality. We didn't really get to talk about them. They are playing incredibly scared. So Neptura, after your sort of worried statement, I am also worried in that sense because even in that final zone there, they had the Western side to sort of scoop up behind Nigma Galaxy, and they did nothing.
Yep. One team that I want to see more out of, especially towards that second page, is none other than Godlike. And I would love to see the player stats so far today because this is a team that a lot of people were expecting to actually finish pretty high. And it has to come with the fragging power of S-Power. And right now, for S-Power, to give him a break, he is the only one that's performing for the squad, being able to average at least one. But the rest of the squad is just not looking good.
It's looking pretty bad in terms of eliminations, and the reason why the eliminations are so low is look at their survival time. They're not even breaching the 20, and some of the players not even the 18-minute mark, which is not good in a lobby of this caliber if you want to be contending for that, let's say, top 5 situation right now. So Godlike, even looking back on this game, they should have pushed up onto, I think it was Ulf's compound, but they got very idle because the thing is, compared to the group stage where some teams might do mistakes and you might be able to weasel your way in, here you have to take fights head on if you want to have a chance to get very late into those games, get those placement points. Godlike, in a lobby like this, you cannot be hesitant. We've seen in your group stage, you have that raw fragging power from S-Power, from Admino, even Sommei. And Manya is a great IGL, but you need to utilize it and take your chances.
Yeah, what I've noticed is Manya is making these sort of scouting power plays, but the rest of the team is not supporting him, which they're getting caught out. So, I mean, it's surprising to sort of see that level that they're at right now because Manya is making incredible decisions, but it looks like a few other sort of on the team are just kind of tunnel visioning into the wrong direction, and then that's when they're getting caught in.
Yeah, I think also one thing that we really need to think about, or they need to think about, is it seems like they keep going for positions that put them in a position to have to fight teams head on, and they're not succeeding in winning those fights. So if you want to make sure that you're actually going to get a position and be in there in the late game, you know, if you know that you're not really fragging out against these squads in the finals, then stop putting yourself in these tight positions in between teams that mean you have to frag your way out of them. Play a little bit more like Vitality, the way that they're on the edge. Nigma Galaxy as well, they're on the edge. They try to just wait out other teams, take a fight here or there, but just survive and keep their players for later.
Survive. That's the name of the game, all right? Just survive. It's so easy. Why don't you do it, Godlike? Actually, I believe they will be able to turn it around. It is their first time here in the finals international event for a lot of its players. S-Power, I'm still proud of you, brother. You're still putting up the numbers, and I think you're going to do even more as the day goes on, as the days do end up going on. But for right now, let's send it over to none other than the stylish man, Blank, and our special reporter, Kalaris.
Yes, the stylish man and the short man. I get it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got ourselves Mr. Blank here to talk about everything
you're my
that's been going
special
on.
little reporter, aren't you?
Right, yeah. I'll try my very best to rise to the occasion.
My special little man here on the stage here.
Shut up and go away. All right, we've got Tiamba to talk about as well, of course, as they have looked stellar in terms of their positioning and how they've been kind of playing these games out, Blank.
Yeah, they have been really, really good. I'm so sorry. I do love you, bro. But honestly, there has been moments where the decision-making has been fantastic. I think that the way that they are speedily going to sometimes their demise is actually astonishingly good, right? Because I think me and Jackie were talking about this. I don't know if you'd agree, but there are times where they'll make what feels like the best decision in a bad moment, right? Where a lot of teams would just stand by and probably get naded and be like, oh, it's over.
Well, Circles haven't been kind to them, so they've been able to kind of fight against some of that adversity. And I think that when you watched as QZZ was able to get MVPs on international stages this year alone, I think a lot of people, including Max and some pundits, etc., wanted extra people to be able to step up to the plate alongside him.
Sure.
Milu's been able to do that like twofold, which has been really phenomenal to watch so far.
Oh, Milu has been amazing.
Yeah.
Milu's been really, really good. It's fantastic to see. I mean, you were talking about it was FMVP for PMI, where he was able to get 39 eliminations over 7,000 damage for QZZ. But yeah, they have balanced the load in a big way. I think it's a really, really nice thing as well seeing A-King, because it very much reminds me the way that Alpha 7 used to play. They're not playing now.
Ignore that bit.
Ignore that bit. Let's just put that to the side for the time being. But yeah, A-King's kind of like the Revo of the team. He plays forward, he plays shotgun for the team. Milu's just very good in those clutch moments. And yeah, the load is spread out very, very evenly across the squad. Eagle is also a great survivalist. I think they have all the tools necessary to actually honestly win this at this point.
As you're talking, you're getting further away. Come back. It's fine. No. Okay,
Where's
so
my box?
the thing is that I think when you look at Tiamba's performance so far, and we can wrap it up on this and move on to our next team, is that double chicken dinner that they got at the start of survival stage, huge revitalization for them to be able to get themselves
Lazarus moment
back on the road again and actually push to be able to find themselves in this state that they're in right now. What do you think?
Yeah, very, very good. I do think that that's what they needed, because the confidence came through. Every time I look down at Milu on the stage, right, it's very...
I like Milu.
I do like Milu.
Oh.
It's very heartwarming because there's... I like it when players are enjoying themselves, and Milu definitely enjoys himself. He's one of the smiliest guys I've seen. QZZ's a little bit more serious, I would say, other than the winning moments where, he almost breaks his fingers on the high fives. That was funny. But I do think that for Milu, it's just nice to see a guy who's so good at the game, but also very much is passionate and enjoys his time in it. And he should be, because he's having an unreal run.
All right, let's move on to another team then, as we have Ulf, who has looked, I would say, towards some of these latest moments, pretty good as well. Obviously, they qualified off the back of having that last game survival win, which was extremely important for their campaign as a whole. And they are one of the teams that a lot of people thought was going to be able to attain those top spots. Right now, their space control is looking good, especially in this last game.
Yes, very much so. I mean, I'm one of those believers. I'm an Ulf believer.
Okay,
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that Eren is one of my favorite players. Ketch also from way back when, MVP in PMPL Season 1 Spring.
He's not quite as old as me, but he is pretty old. He goes way back.
He's old, yeah, but he's still got it in him. He's got the grizzle beard. He's a grizzled warrior, but he looks good. And I think that for Ulf, though, that last game was fantastic for me in particular, because we were talking about it backstage, right? And I said, if Ulf wins this game, I want to talk about them. But it was nice for me to be in like stage 6 and really believe in Ulf to actually win the game that they should be winning if they make the necessary movements, which was to take out Tiamba and slowly corral the rest of the squad. So the fact that they did one, kind of a prideful moment for me, because I was like, get in, lads. This is fine. You've got it.
And you liked your prediction.
I did, yeah. Also, I was quite chuffed about myself. Yes, that is right. Okay, right. Okay, 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
Great job, lads. Great job, me.
I think as well, controlling that compound, it actually has great lines of sight on the south side. Any vulnerability normally comes from the north, which actually didn't really exist in that game due to the way the circles were shifting. So they had to turn all their attention to the east as the next main threat. And I think you're right. They prioritize those threats very well from a compound like that. So good stuff by Ulf so far. And let's turn our attention as well to E-Arena, who has looked... It's funny because I'm a little bit conflicted by what E-Arena's been putting up so far. Because even in this last game, I really appreciate the wide wraps that they're doing, but Fourth Thrive's had like almost zero opportunity to be able to react to the snowball coming down the hill and, crushing them all. It was tough.
It was tough. I mean, E-Arena is just a strange team right now where I'm not sure if they're really good at the game or very lucky, which even I don't think are very sure about this point in time. I remember a time when Schweppes, was sweeping aside the competition. But again, I think E-Arena just hasn't quite hit that full stride yet. But they do have the massive potential, Caleb.
He's been able to win twice on the stage in the past, Schweppes, with, of course, Vampire in the past. But anyway, thank you very much, Blank, for joining me here down on the stage. It is time to head on over to Glitter with an update.
Because there's a lot going on in chess today, and a lot of it is very CC heavy. So talk us through what's been going on.
So currently the game going on behind us at the moment is Magnus Carlsen, the tournament favourite, playing for Team Liquid against Nahal Sarin for SAUL.
Okay.
So pretty big game, mainly for Team Liquid. Get a win here this weekend. Magnus Carlsen being the chess player that he is. And he is up 2-0 at the moment as well. So even if he gets one more draw through the next 2 games, he'll be progressing to the semi-finals. Earlier today, we had the first quarterfinal, which was Denis Lazovic playing against the Na'Vi representative. And he managed to get a win. So that's huge for AGL as well, considering they're trying to keep the top of this leaderboard. They pretty much need to outperform Falcons, which in itself, it sounds kind of doable. But then you realize they've got 2 players. One of them's already progressed through. And Ali Reza Farouja's kind of playing now and beating his opponent as well.
Okay.
So Hikaru Nakamura already through to the semi-finals, which lines up a Hikaru Nakamura versus Denis Lazovic, AGL versus Falcons in the semi-final.
I mean, to be fair, Denis was trying to almost
preempt that when he was practicing, putting the key into the trophy yesterday. So, maybe that's a good omen?
I mean, the thing is, he was literally putting his opponent's key that he'd beaten in the winning trophy. So it wasn't even his own key. He was like knocking someone out and then putting them on a pedestal straight away. But yeah, it's been a good one over here in chess. There's so many club championship storylines that kind of lay on chess at the moment, considering, AGL have been knocked out of PUBG Mobile, have been knocked out of several other competitions as well. So Team Falcons have to be outperformed by AGL if AGL want to keep that top spot. But then again, Falcons are in Rocket League as well. So they're kind of in a great position to go far in the club championship this week.
And of course, already have managed to secure some points being in the top 4. So it's going to be a very close race is what we're hearing right now. And chess is going to be a big impact on just how close that race for the leaderboard is. We actually have way more matches coming up on the rest of the day. So as we have some more updates, we'll check back in with you, Trev. For now, we're going to say goodbye.
Shout out to the amazing Glitter Explosion and the amazing Trav as well for the Club Championship update. But now going back to PUBG Mobile's esports here at PMWC at EWC 26, we got to talk about Aurora. I would love to see Aurora player stats because there is one player in particular that you're not happy with his performance. You're over here like George St. Pierre, Max. You're like, I'm not happy with your performance. Ooh. That's exactly what it sounds like because for this squad, I mean, they were able to start off hot, but they're just going to keep going down that leaderboard.
Yeah, it's not even just Doc, actually. I feel like I kind of want to see more from Reefus as well. That has kind of like been underperforming a little bit. Even Ziol. Ziol, I can give him a pass because he had some incredible grenades early on Rondo. So sure, maybe it doesn't showcase itself in the stats, but in general, I feel like Ziol has definitely also been pulling his weight. But top, it's been the top show. Getting almost 3 average eliminations per game is crazy in a lobby of this caliber, but it's not enough when only one. Reefus, again, Jolly get a pass, but Doc and Reefus, I want to see those guys doing well here in these coming Miramars.
Oh, absolutely. We know they can offer so much more than they are right now. I also want to give Reefus a half pass as well, because similarly to Ziol, we did see Reefus have some really cool information scouting off angles, like way across certain areas of the zone, really trying to get as much information as possible for his team. So in that regard, yeah, I do feel like he's kind of pulling his weight a little bit, but yes, overall, I do agree with you, Max, that all of them need to really be stepping up to the plate here. 4th place is okay. It's not far behind 1st, but we just want to see more because we know that they can do so much more.
Yeah, and for me, no pass for Reefus. Okay, Reefus, I expect a lot better from you. You're the only player right now that hasn't gotten one of the international MVPs in that squad, so the pressure is on you, okay? Any passes that I had for him was last year. This is a new year. I want to see more survival time out of him as well, but here we go. We're looking at the overall place. We're talking about Tiamba. We're talking about Flash. We're talking about some of these teams that we need to see more placement points out of.
Yeah, I want to ask Max, if he were to be an embodiment of a coach, you pick Team Flash, right?
Oh, if I wanted to coach a team, which team I would coach?
No, so I think Flash wasn't that your
They're my prediction, yeah.
Yeah, your prediction?
Yeah.
Obviously being 7th place there, not doing terribly, but come on.
23 points behind.
Inner coach, what do you think they need to do to be able to skyrocket up that leaderboard so your prediction is correct?
Oh, it's complicated exactly to pinpoint what's going on with
Tell
Team
us,
Flash.
Max.
You're putting me on the spot right now. I didn't prepare a segment for this. But, Team Flash, I feel like...
You thrive
actually,
on this.
There was one fight that was versus 4 Thrives that I find interesting. That was actually the one that happened last game that eventually was won by Ulf. And I feel like what happened with Team Flash, they got caught off guard and they didn't find a good way to get themselves back up on their 2 feet and get ready for the fight, which under pressure, that is what you need to be able to do. Flash is a great team, right? If they take a fight they're ready for, when they're not ready for it, they just tend to crumble a little bit. Yeah. So I don't think it's a gameplay issue per se. I feel like it's more of a mindset issue that Flash need to try and resolve.
As we're looking at the second page here, I'm also going to be looking at Hora Esports, Neptura. This squad, I mean, they have the fan base here. They have the support from the fans. But right now, in the second page, knowing Hora Esports, they're not going to be happy with this performance.
No, they're not. And I think it's a bit of an odd one, right? Because I think it's hard to say, like Max, right? It's hard to pinpoint what exactly is going on with them. But typically, this is a team that likes to play edge, likes to survive, likes to wait until the last few phases of the game to really start spreading out and taking third-party opportunities. They're very good at those third parties, and we're just not seeing that from them. They try sort of half-heartedly making good on some of these plays, but they get overthrown very, very quickly by these more aggressive players and more aggressive teams, and so they just seem to be a little bit too passive. I know Hora tends to be called passive a little bit more, but this is not a passive team when it comes to those fights. And except for today, it just kind of feels like that's what they're the name that they're living up to, unfortunately.
I mean, it's an incredible start from them, though, from the first couple of matches. So, like, obviously, we talk about teams that sort of start out strong, start out weak. I think they started out incredibly strong, but it seems like, obviously, coming into these later matches and everybody's reading the zones a little bit better in these positionings, they are getting caught out on that. So I do agree with you in that sense. But look, it's just kind of that balance of mentality that they're sort of struggling later in these matches, but I feel like even though it's just today, I feel like tomorrow it's going to be like a little bit of a different scene from them in the start. I do believe so. I do believe they have it. They've got the fans to back them up, of course. I'm backing them up. Maybe not for the rest of today, but tomorrow.
I was about to say, you're giving them a break until tomorrow. No, these fans, I want to see it. They want to see it coming up in Miramar.
I mean, the thing is, right, is that, okay, if you only had like your typical rule set, sure, fair enough. You can have one day off. We got Smash ruling. You might just have only 2 games there on that day 3, and you just don't know how it's going to go. If it happens like it happened in the Macau Invitational, boy, oh boy, that was crazy. We had 5 teams in the Smash zone at the same time. Eventually, Nongshim Red Force did get the win, stealing it away from Furia, but Smash ruling in play, you just don't know how long you really have, Nipture, so you got to make the most out of the games you're currently playing, because otherwise that gap, it might be impossible to come back from in that final day.
Oh, exactly, and there's your point brings up 2 teams to mind for me. The first one we've already talked about, Aurora. I said that they typically are a day 3 team, which makes things very complicated when you get to that Smash ruling. Exactly. What day 3, right? The other one is for Thrives, because again, they do very well, typically, very well on day 1, because day 2, they tend to dip. The momentum just drops significantly, and then they can bring it back up on day 3. Again, what day 3? We could very well have a scenario where day 3 is really non-existent. So for those 2 teams in particular, that's really scary thought.
Yeah, day 3 will still happen, but depending on how the leaderboard is looking and depending on what other teams end up doing, we could end up just seeing 2 games because Smash Rule is in effect. So just to remind everybody, the way that ends up working out is when we end up going to Smash Rule on the last day, whoever's in first place on the previous day, you get plus 10 points if I'm not mistaken, and then that becomes what we like to call the Smash Zone. Once a team is able to pass that threshold, in the next game, if they do end up winning, or whichever game after that, if they do end up winning, they would end up winning via Smash Rule. And this is something that we kind of you were especially hitting on just now, Max, because it could come into play. If a team is too far ahead, I mean, especially with Rondo starting off as well, it could be an easy 10 points for that squad. And later on, we can see teams just readjusting their playing style because all they have to do is just win, baby.
But it also adds so much pressure.
Yes.
Right? We do have to highlight it. I mean, I want to take you guys back to PMGO Season 1, Jakarta, right, in Indonesia. 4 Thrives. What was it? 50+ point lead after day 1. Like something crazy like that. They just destroyed everyone in those 6 games. And then comes over day 2. They're like, oh, wait a minute. We try and get into the Smash Zone. They get in the Smash Zone very early. Pressure gets to them. Ulf is like, oh, you're crumbling. You're having a bad time. And they catch back up to that team and almost take it away in that last Miramar. But luckily enough, 4 Thrives do maintain that top position. But the Smash ruling is a blessing and a curse based on how you approach it. And for 4 Thrives, I am scared if they do get into the Smash Zone once again, how are they going to perform? Because back in that last event, it was looking shaky. They can't afford to shake up badly here back to back.
Yeah, that team, they ended up pretty much just showing us what we have seen in the past with 4 Thrives, which is the biggest question mark, and that is the mental state of the players, because when things don't end up going their way, they do end up getting into their mind. Yeah. For them, being able to be champions, though, for 4 Thrives is going to be looking different. For a team that's wanting to become champions, none other than Enigma Galaxy, they have had a great start here today, but I know Jackie got a chance to talk to them.
Hello everyone, Jackie Powers here, live from PMWC at Esports World Cup, and I'm joined by the legend himself, Rauf, from, of course, Enigma Galaxy. Now, buddy, I got to get in there and ask, the pop-off moment, Ida's been hot-dropping you every game. It feels like every time we're in Erangel, they're willing to sacrifice their own points to target your team. What's going through your mind in these moments, and what was that like, kind of asserting the dominance of, we keep winning this, and I'm going to prove it, standing up on the stage?
I mean, Ida knows we've been landing in Pushinki, me personally, for 7 years now. So they want to challenge us. They want to prove themselves as a new team. But they know we won't change, and they know we're better than them. So just a waste of time for them. They're just giving us 3 points. First match, they were scared to fight, and they ran away. The other 2 matches, we fight them, we push them, and we just kill them easily. So, yeah, that's why I pop off, because it doesn't make sense.
Oh, exactly. I mean, we kind of mirrored that on the cast in the moment, thinking it's doing more damage to them than it is you guys in these moments. Obviously, let's talk a little bit more on a positive term. It's been pretty good for you guys so far in finals. It feels like the comms right now on the team are really clean as well. Do you think this is going to be Enigma winner? You're looking to take the trophy home this year?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we're prepared more than ever to win the trophy. We're trying our best. Everything is going our way for now. It's a good start, but the tournament is still long, so we keep it up, keep the momentum, and try to grab that trophy.
There we go. Respectful as always with some brilliant takes. Always loving the chat to Ralph. There you go. Enigma Galaxy. Let's see if they can do it.
I see the Key Crusher on stage. I think, yeah, that's cool, but it could be cooler.
Yeah, baby, all the way! Oh, hell yeah!
That's why I found a crusher of my own. Legal means. Now let's crush this watermelon. That's how esports should be done. Solve this, nerd. Yeah. For T1. Okay, France was stronger than I thought. Don't need soap when you're in esports. Squeaky clean. Can of beans. Ah! Ah! Can of cola. Esports! What time is it? Time to go.
I love seeing that. I love seeing them just crashing other stuff, you know? What's one thing, Lace, what's one thing that if you had the power to crush it, you would end up crushing? Besides Max Man's hopes for Team Flash.
Damn it. No.
Why?
No, I think, you know what? 7. You.
Oh! Wait, what?
I've got to take the shade off of Max at some point, and I need someone to pick on, and I just was kind of looking in your direction, and yeah.
How would you do that, though? What's like...
We don't need to go into details.
No,
Max,
no.
what would you be crushing?
7 also. What would I be crushing? You know
Who
what?
would I be crushing?
Who would I be crushing? No. Ooh, can we do Niptra first? I don't know.
No, don't do me.
On the spot. Come on.
Come on.
I would be crushing the key of Ida because they're making me very angry. I would take it like this, and it would not. The tournament would not even end, and I would just take it and crush it and turn it into a paste and squash it under my feet. So I don't know. I really don't like the hot drop, as you can tell. Probably, I don't like it. It's not fun.
How about you?
He's looking at me. I can see him on the monitor. He's looking at me very intensely. Is 7, and I don't have an answer.
Oh, you're gonna have to find one.
You know what?
You have to pick something.
Oh no! Don't put it on me. This is
Yes,
bullying.
keep it.
This is bullying.
Come on.
What's it gonna be?
Instagram DMs.
Actually, that's a good answer. That's a good answer, actually. Yeah.
She's just gonna be printing them out and just crushing them. Mine, I would want to see how long it takes to crush the level 3 helmet for PUBG Mobile. That would be sick. You know what? For next PMWC, how about we crush that? We'd love to end up seeing that, or maybe one of the
Squeaky chicken.
No. The what?
Squeaky chicken. Crush that and see what happens.
Jeez, come down there in Farmville. As we're going to be going into Miramar, one thing that we've been noticing, oh my gosh, talking about Miramar, perfect time too, as we're seeing some of the bloopers that we have had so far. A PMWC, Aurora with this one. That one hurt to see. But this was honestly ended up working out for EA, especially because they jumped at the same time.
Yeah, it did. That was the only redeeming quality, but otherwise it was a sticky situation that they had to get themselves out of. So yeah, GG on that one, but yeah.
Did they hit the light post?
A little bit.
You say they got the light knocked out of them.
That one, oh, that was my favorite one so
That's
far, Max.
so good.
You know how hard it is to do that? It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot replicate that. Also, XEY, when he was going over with a glider, he was actively getting shot at, by the way. Can't see all of the shots connecting, but some of them do. And before he explodes, he jumps out. That's some James Bond stuff right there in PUBG Mobile, and he makes it onto the tower. And actually, that position was really big for Nongshim Red Force in that game. I wish they got something similar in the finals, though. It's not been the case so far.
Oh, this one stinks. Yeah, that one stinks. Just because they're not here anymore. You can even see it with Blank when he brought up Alpha 7. I was like, ooh.
Oh, never
The reigning
mind.
champ is the PFGC, not in the finals of PMWC.
Ah, that's like, ooh, maybe not. Hora, we love self-nading in this household. It's just so much fun, and it's dumb. But here we go. You do have it occasionally. Here we go, Aleka. I mean, and it's, any team can do it. We had A7, we've had Hora, 721 GS now.
Sometimes you're just such a powerful player that you need to be humble and eliminate yourself from the competition. God damn, we have some humble PUBG Mobile players.
We do. Oh!
It's like what we do, Max. It's pretty much this is exactly the playing style when we end up playing. We're just so good at the game that we had to give the other teams a chance, give the other players a chance. We're like, okay, time to nade ourselves.
You have to intentionally throw sometimes. If you want to give other people, the noobs, a chance, unlike us, they need to be given an opportunity at redemption in these games and get those chicken dinners, because otherwise they're just not going to get anything done. So yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and as we're going to be going into Miramar, we're still waiting for the matches to be ready here. That's why there's been a bit of a delay. As we're going to be going into Miramar, there is some drops that we've been kind of keeping an eye on, especially for Godlike and Hora, and you can see Max just starting to get even more and more red. I love how the shade just went from like your regular color to now starting to get a little bit more red with this hot drops. But the thing is, with Godlike, one thing that they have adjusted, Lace, is with Godlike, they haven't hot dropped before. They did hot drop at the start of the tournament, but they realized it wasn't going to be going their way, and they stopped hot dropping.
I mean, they make these decisions based off of, I guess, all their play styles from previous matches. I like the fact that they're trying to make different decisions to see what can benefit them. Obviously, they need to capitalize on more eliminations, so seeing hot drops come out of them is better, but also they do have the power and the great positioning to go into these final circles. So when we bring into Smash Rule, and if obviously they can catch up that leaderboard in eliminations, this is a team that can finalize it and break it out by getting that win at the end of the day. So even though their eliminations are slow now, say we come into tomorrow, they can capitalize on these eliminations, moving on up the leaderboard, they are a team that will be able to hit the Smash Roll because they can capitalize on the wins. What are you guys doing?
I believe so. I think they could put themselves into that position, and we're just showing our sport here. We're looking at some of the teams that we ended up predicted, and for everybody currently watching at home, for everybody here in the arena as well, don't forget that you can go into the EWC Play app and put in your predictions. Turn in with just scan that. Scan that real quick right here. Just go ahead and scan it and see what teams you're going to be selecting. I ended up selecting Aurora being in the top 3. This is the first time that in a long time that I haven't picked them to win.
That's fair. I think that is fair. I wish they would win, but they're not. The way it's going, at least it doesn't look insanely likely unless they have a massive comeback in the next couple of days. But 4 Thrives, also a team that needs to step up because, look, I've been supporting you for ages and ages. And you won PMGO, and I want you to have a back-to-back. I know you can do it. Do it.
Yeah,
ages. So many ages.
Oh wait, this is 4 Thrives. I thought I was Hora. I can't touch that. Okay, I thought I was Hora. I'm not. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought.
Bad. No.
I love that Tura just kicks it too. She doesn't even try to pick it up.
Okay, yeah,
Just
I can't
like
touch any 4 Thrives merchandise. Okay, I need to.
By the way, huge shout out to Jackie because while we're waiting for the game to start here, Jackie has been running around getting some interviews, and I think he was able to get another interview with maybe a fan this time.
We're still roaming around talking to the fans. We're going to see what sort of teams people are enjoying over here and who they think's going to win. Excuse me, buddy. Who do you think's going to win the event?
Ulf, I think he's win.
Yeah?
Yes.
Let's go. Big up for Ulf.
Let's go, Ulf.
Wolf. What about you, brother? Wolf.
All right, hell yeah.
So we got some old fans in the house. Thank you, boys. Let's roam in a bit. Hey guys, 4-5s. Hey, okay, there we go. Got some 4-5s fans in the house. Who's your favorite player on 4-5s?
Of course, all, but I will go with Huzafa and Falak.
Okay.
Yeah, but
There's been a lot of fans for Falak. What do you think it is? Is it how he plays the game or just his personality? What do you like about him?
how is it played? He's an aggressive player, so and personality as well. Yeah, so yeah.
What about all 4-5s here in terms of thinking they're going to win it? You a big fan of 4-5s?
Yeah, we are especially came from Pakistan to support them. We are here for our team and we love them all. They represent our country and represent us. So we are here to support them.
Have you guys been getting loud throughout the event as well, giving them your energy, I imagine? That I've been hearing a lot of 4-5 cheers. That coming from you guys?
Yeah, that's definitely us. We are here to support our team, to cheer them.
Good luck with the event. Fingers crossed for 4-5. They've been looking great. I'm going to roam on, see what else we got. Enjoy the show. What we got going on down here? Hello, brother. How you doing? Yeah? Who do you think's going to win the event?
Okay, particularly I can't say anything for the first day because it's going to be a tough competition. It's the EWC man all over the world. Everyone is competitive in this game. So let's wait till tomorrow so then I can say who can win. Okay. I know the game, I know how the game works. So let's just wait patiently. First day is a good day for everyone. Let's hope my team win. Hora.
You want to see Hora win. If they're gonna, you'd love to see a big Hora victory.
Yeah. I love to see that, but still, I say no disrespect to any team, but I want my team to win. That's the motive of champions.
There you go. We're looking for a Hora win over this side. Let's go find out what's going on in the other sides of the arena.
Avli, I need you to cover the STC arena today.
Ooh, it's gonna be tough.
Why?
Because I have no interest in doing that.
Come on, we need you over there.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go to the beach just really quick, and if the games are still going on by the time I get back, I'll say a couple words.
The beach is 5 hours from here. I wish Avli cared about esports more than anything in the world.
That's a candy bar.
It's worth a shot. Avli, what are you doing?
I'm here for EWC. I love esports.
More than anything in the world? So you can cover STC Arena?
I'm gonna cover it all.
That's great. Well, let's get you over
I
now.
want a key.
No, you can't have a key. Keys are only for clubs. Yeah, okay. We'll figure out your key.
Great, let's go.
Okay. Avli, I just want to say you're doing a phenomenal job. Everyone's really excited about your work.
I just love esports so much.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask about getting you a raise because you deserve it.
I don't need a raise. I have my key.
How did you... Can I see that?
Mm-hmm.
Avli. Did you take this from somebody?
No. No. No, no,
Okay.
no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 don't do that! We were having such a nice tournament! Why does it matter? We were having such a nice tournament!
Okay, it's your key. It's your key. Probably would have got crushed anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into that because that is scary. Talking about scary, we had some hot drops that we were talking about with Godlike versus Hora. These squads, I mean, the only thing that would suck for those squads is that they're currently on that second page, Max. That's why we're saying we don't want to see any hot drops from those two squads.
Nobody wants to be Ida 2.0. Okay, sorry. You know
It's
what?
fair.
If
It's
you're an
fair.
Ida fan, I'm sorry. I'm gonna start. I'm just memeing at this point. No, but they didn't do the hot drop in their respective group, right? Which was Group A back then, if I'm not mistaken, or the other one, but one of the groups. And they didn't go for it. But the reason why they didn't go for the hot drops, really, the real reason is because the planes were very focused over to the eastern side and the southern side, meaning La Cobreria was not in reach. I want to see a plane, right, Niptura, where it goes and reaches La Cobreria, and we see as a fact that Hora and Godlike, and hopefully also Chama, that might drop there, will not commit to the fight because, yeah, right now they're not in a good position. They cannot afford to lose points, and I think they're not going to commit to it, but it could get bad.
And for Godlike, I mean, you don't want to go up against a team that's currently being able to put up even more elims than you, that usually ends up being more aggressive, like you were talking about in this stance of Hora.
Yeah, no. Again, yeah, if they were doing much better in the last 4 matches, if they had, if they were top 5, top 6, something like that, and they were feeling really good and looking very confident, maybe you could try to contest the drop, right? But the way it stands, honestly, for either of these teams, I don't think either of them should really try and contest this. It really is down to who had it first and up to the other team to kind of figure out where else they want to go, because I'm not confident that either of those teams would win against each other. I think it's a 50-50.
Even if you lose a player, right, it just hurts your potential performances
Especially
onto Miramar. So, I do think that Godlike, talking to S-Power, you and me, right, Seven, we had a bit of a chat with him. He's like, you know what, it's not worth it. They had that first hot drop onto, I believe it was Hustler Crew, onto Erangel in their group stage, and like, you know what, it's just not worth it. Let's give it up. And I think that was one of the best changes in this entire tournament, was from Godlike, and I want to see that bleed into Miramar going into today.
Maturity, honestly, from the first time being at a global event, especially in finals, and well, during group stages, it ended up happening. But maturity out of that player for S-Power, saying we don't want to continue with the hot drops. We want to stop that. We see that it's going to end up hurting our performance. And Lace, I want you to put your mindset into a coach right now, into the biggest hype coach for some of their squads. Godlike and Hora, which team are you going to be picking, and what are you going to be telling them if they do decide to hot drop, or if they don't decide to hot drop?
Just get it together, man. No. Look, Godlike, and because, and we were just saying S-Power, their adaptation to each and every game deserves to get a little bit further. And I just hope that you guys can find that great little key that you need to be able to push through into those final zones and capitalize on those eliminations. They have it in them. You've got it in you, and I believe that you will be able to do that. Obviously, we may need a little bit more time to sort of get that, but I just like the way that this team calculates and puts in a strategy. Might not work out for them, but then they'll try a new strategy that they'll be able to solidify a lot more in this competition. So look, I think they can do it.
Yeah, especially for both teams being in the second page. You want to be able to build up the momentum. We've seen some teams being able to build up momentum and just carry it on throughout the matches. Only 3 days here at PMWC at EWC 26, the finals. We've been sending it to Jackie over and over again. Then I want to see what Hot Jukes and Blank are up to.
Woo! Thank goodness the group stage and the survival stage is done. Now we can finally kick back and save our voices for a little bit.
Playing some pool was a good time. It's been an incredible event so far, honestly, in Paris. Very, very fun. I mean, we're here right now in the Players Lounge, which is honestly ginormous. I think the first place we saw when we came in. I'm trying to hit some trickies right now, but it ain't happening. Also, I just want to let everyone know that I play pool. But I don't really, I play snooker. So this is very different for me.
It's not the same thing, not the same thing at all. Matter of fact, I've never even seen a snooker table in real life. This is the game to play. I thought it was only one singular game.
Yeah, I'm gonna break the rules.
Okay, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I think I'm gonna break the rules in terms of
He is looking to take the shot. Will he hit the stripe? Little bounce shot. There we go. Well, you know, we're getting things figured out here. Let's see if I can finally hit one of these things.
Okay. So what have you thought about the tournament so far? I mean, for me, tournament's been great. I've really enjoyed it. It's been insane. There's been some crazy moments. That's a good shot. It's a good shot too. Fourth thrives look fantastic. I mean, Orangutan, Godlike coming in over towards that top 5 is just some crazy stuff. Couldn't believe it. I think everyone I've talked to whilst they've been here saying they're having a really good time. Again, everyone's really taken care of here as well. Plenty of stuff that we're taking advantage of as well. Honestly, that's the big thing. Like we're having actually kind of a pretty damn good time here. All right. Yeah, we get our 3 games in. I do watch the other ones, but afterwards I like to come chill here. It's a lovely spot.
place is stupid, to be honest. It's ridiculous. Dude, the by far some of the best food I've ever had at an event ever. And this place really does have it all, dude, right? I mean, like every game you can imagine. Manicurist on stage, and dude, that lady's insane. Like, I've seen some of the girls walking out of there, and now she's like booked out for 2 weeks, which is wild. But I might even get a haircut in a second. I love it. I love it here.
We're so hyped about you taking the mic back off me as well. Yeah, no, I'm about to get a manicure, dude. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for mine. Yeah. But overall, genuinely, the PUBG Mobile, I think PUBG Mobile might be the greatest event at EWC. PMWC, EWC, so good. We're biased as hell though about that, but we do get like 2 good weeks out here to enjoy the vibe. You know, it's been in Riyadh quite a few other times, but even there it's been very, very fun coming to Paris. For me, Paris is good because it's a 1-hour flight as opposed to an 18. But I'll still take the 18 to go to Riyadh. Very, very good time. But it does mean I don't have to get a massage whilst I'm here. My back is not ruined.
Yeah, I'm in the same dang boat. I mean, when I heard that there was massage therapists actually available, I was like, please, where are you at? Because my flight was a whole lot longer than that. But yeah, man, so far this has just been a crazy journey. And the survival stage just finished. It was tough leaving the hotel room this morning and seeing like 10 teams go home. But at the end of the day, someone's going to be the champ. And another team is going to be the not champs. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just watching. I saw him shoot 2 different color balls. He really does play snooker here, folks. And that was close. That was close. I like it.
Look, I'm just hitting balls in holes right now, okay? I'm playing the equivalent of golf, just with a long stick. I hope that's fine what you did. I don't know the rules. Tell me the rules. Right? That's fine. I got you, bro. Yeah, I heard you like stop. I heard you stop. You kind of confused what was going on. That's fine. Yeah. So you're solids, I'm stripes. Is that how that works? Or the numbers? I just know. I just go for colors. That's where I'm from. It's just colors. It's so much easier. Black goes in last. Boom. It's easy. That's all I need. So I'm stripes. Okay.
Okay, he's locked in now, okay? But what's one thing that you really need to make sure whenever you're playing any game is understanding the rules, right? But even if you don't understand the rules, sometimes you just send it, baby, right? You just put it in the work and you might come out on top. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? This guy is, I like it though. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make the plays, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, sometimes you help other teams. That's kind of rough. Okay, I respect it. Sometimes you gotta make some difficult shots in your life. I trust you. It's a long reach. It was close though. It was that. I thought you were gonna really ruin that. Okay, like tell me something. 4 thrives. Overrated or not?
Hell no, dude. Thor Thrives is insane. I mean, they are coming in champions of PMGO Season 1. I didn't think we were going to see a Pakistani team be our champs, not this soon. And this guy's giving me a chance, and I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully, we'll see 4 Thrives try to give some of these guys a chance, because in Group A, these guys look like they were unstoppable.
They look really good. I mean, they were beat out points-wise by Vitality. It was ridiculous. You're right. It was ridiculous. It was a good time though watching them play. Big return to form for Indonesia. It's not been like this in such a long time. Oh, almost. But yeah, big return for Indonesia. It like feels like the spiritual successors right now to BTR back in the day, but there's no BTR pranks happening. No jokes. Just gameplay.
Just gameplay indeed. Dude, the whole Vitality Day was absolutely insane. I just kept on talking to some of these dudes backstage, and I was like, guys, what do you think about Vitality's performance? And all I heard was, what the, and it was like filled in by any word you could possibly imagine. That's what I'm talking about. That was good. I like it. purposeful shots here. Let's see how this one goes for Blank. Side pocket. Oh, just barely off the edge. But you know what, dude? That's the one thing I love about PUBG Mobile. Sometimes you get put in some beautiful situations, but the best teams always find themselves a way out.
I mean, AJL is a good example of that. They got themselves in a real good situation. I mean, top team Tiamba going for the crown, and honestly, they completely flubbed it. That was a lovely shot, by the way, dude. Well played. Winning up against Tiamba in that last game, survival stage. They're given all the chance in the world versus Nongshim Red Force, but Nongshim, I would say they're one of the teams looking to continue on. And I don't think AGL had it in them this year, but Tiamba just had a massive turnaround. But these things happen. Some mistakes happen. Oh, dude, I forgot that you were like right at the finish line. I've got like some more steps to go.
You got it. But hey, you know what? That's what it's all about. You just take things one step at a time. No matter what kind of situation you put in, you got to just figure things out and make it happen. Yeah. Take another one. Sometimes you got to take a mulligan. Little combination shot.
I tried.
I like it. I like it.
I've made it easy for you, though. I've lined you up. You're lined up. You're ready to go. I've created a runway for you. Look. Say, you come down here and go in this back pocket. Yeah. I've got the lights. I'm guiding you home, dude. I'm guiding you home. Oh! Okay, that was a real. The lights, they guided him home. It was good to see. Let's hope that some of these teams can get themselves guided home to a victory at the end of PMWC here at EWC. Thanks for watching. My name's Blank, and this right here is
Hot Jukes.
Catch you guys later.
This is probably my best acting performance ever. Man, it's gonna be a crazy finals. I mean, we got 4 Thrives who from Pakistan. They won PMGO season 1. They're a huge favorite. Team Vitality, dude, they had the craziest group stage performance I've ever seen. Godlike. Yeah, we got OG. Yeah, they're insane. Dude, anybody could really do this, you know what I'm saying? Team Furia is a huge favorite of mine. They qualified in through survival stage, but it's one of those things where like, I feel like this year we're gonna see a team nobody expected win the whole thing.
Okay.
Which should be fun to see.
All right, $5. Who is it?
Who could it be, dude? It's gonna be so wild of a pick. Honestly, if 4 Thrives wins this, it'll be like the nuttiest thing ever.
Yep.
It would be crazy.
What do they got to do to win? Get a little lucky, obviously. But what else? What can they do to set themselves up?
That's the biggest thing, right? Like PUBG Mobile is a game. It's such a team game that even if you don't get those lucky circles, you got to put up consistent points no matter what. You know, I mean, and if you don't, it get a little, just even the slightest bit lazy, you're going home. You know, like one of my personal favorite teams, because their NA team was the Wolves. They made just the tiniest little car mistake. They end up losing and went home by 1 point.
Wow.
And
the margins here are insane.
And if you look back at the videos, like there was one play where one of the players accidentally just drove into a wall, and they ended up getting pretty much flushed because of it. And you just think like if just any little tiny mistake was avoided, they could have got that extra point and went to the finals.
But don't you have to risk it to get the biscuit?
You gotta risk it, dude. Sometimes the wall looks too juicy. There's those coin flip decisions, dude, right? And you can go left, and if it works out, you're a genius, you know? And if it doesn't, you're like an idiot. So like, I think it's just avoiding as many of those coin flips as possible. But if you do have to make those coin flips, you gotta have enough trust in your team to like, for them to just send it completely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I'm doing great. Oh,
I can hear it.
The casting has been so tough. So hard.
Okay, try that out.
Oh, man. This is officially my favorite part of Paris.
A little bit to the right.
7, we're live.
That's the left. God damn it.
Not again. Thanks, Max. That was actually a pretty good massage. That was nice. Hodgix enjoying massages out there, being able to play pool, being able to do a bunch of stuff as well. But for some of these other squads, I mean, Natura, I know you've been wanting to talk about S2G.
Yeah. They were cruising very nicely on like one game with those hovercrafts, which I'm still very impressed with. I think the momentum, they saw their opportunity and they took it. They absolutely ran with those things. Really, really nice to see. However, and this is what gives me a little bit of an issue here, is it's because of the hovercraft that they gained that momentum, and then in the next couple of games we've not seen the same come from them. So for me, that feels like that ends up being a little bit of a fluke, which I really hope that that is not the case, that we do see them come back in a more normal way and still have that same kind of momentum, because that's what you really want. You can still get that same speed with those vehicles, it's just not the tankiness of a hovercraft, but you can still do it. It's still very doable. So I'm really hoping that actually they'll be able to do something else that doesn't include a hovercraft.
Would be nice. I mean, actually, if you're looking at the overall rankings, right, their position, actually, I mean, production, 10 out of 10 stuff. Actually, no, they're on the second page, but S2G, they got that one chicken dinner with a hovercraft, as you already stated here, Niptura, but they only have 10 placement points, meaning, and I always love to say this point, which is you take that chicken dinner away, what do you really have? And you can really only judge a team on their bad games. Do you still get 1 or 2 points only, or you're a team that on your bad games you get 3, 4, 5 points, a few placement points, sprinkled in with a few eliminations? That is the mark of a great team that generally right now, I would say that Team S Jamba, I mean, actually look at their 37 points, right? You take away their placements, Niptra, they would still be in, what is that, 4th place? Yeah. Insane stuff from this team in day one.
That's so good.
S2G, you take away that win, they would have 0 placement points. So going along the lines of what you were talking about, got a chance to talk about Notch and Red Force. Notch and Red Force, just black and white, honestly. I know we keep talking about this team, Max. Black and white in regards to what we saw during groups, during survival as well for this squad. We were talking about how they would end up getting so many placement points, but they just weren't being aggressive. This time they're like, okay, we hear you. How about we just flip it upside down and we end up being more aggressive and end up getting only 1 placement point after 4 matches.
This is not the Nongshim Red Force that were crowned your PMMI 2026 champions. I'm just going to be brutally honest right now. They look like a shadow of their past selves. We know they can do so much more, and I mentioned it earlier, right, is that especially they got caught on their rotation on that previous game, which was a while ago now, by actually the side of 4 Thrives outside Potato Hill, and they just didn't have a plan B. They just didn't know how to catch up. And actually, a team that, in my opinion, Niptra, is a great team when it comes to getting a second, like, plan B, plan C, the entire alphabet, right? Is Jamba, in my opinion, because looking back at that rondo, they were getting chased with Eagle, that recall player, outside in Tinglong Garden, and man, they booked it because they're like, if we lose that solo player, our game is done. Eagle, literally, by doing so, saved the game. I would love to see a similar kind of mindset and approach to the game from Nongshim Red Force, and even maybe Team Flash.
Yeah, no, because I think if Nongshim played the way Tiamba are doing, they would be so scary, right? Going back to our previous point of the Smash ruling, right? I watched the last game of PMMI, where Nongshim Red Force won by Smash, right? I watched that game on my couch in my living room, and I was still scared. I was scared and I wasn't even playing because that team, they knew what they had to do, and rather than fall underneath the pressure of, like so many other teams do, quite rightly, this team knew exactly how to play this. It was like they weren't worried at all. They were like, yeah, we just have to get a win. That's all we got to do, and easy peasy. So for me, if this team can just move forward, step up, get that momentum going over the next day, basically, then what we could see is a team in the Smash Point, and then good luck to everybody else, because that team is insane.
Talking about other teams, Lace, you want to say something?
I just want to say I agree, because like the fact that they could have those placement points early on, and the fact that there was one scenario where they absolutely just steamrolled Furia. If they just can add that together, I just had to add on that I agree that they would be scary as heck. heck.
A team that could be scary as heck as well are the reigning champions of PMGO, and it's none other than 4Thrives. 4Thrives, I mean, currently being able to outperform what Nongshim Red Force is doing. Average placement, the exact same. I would love to see 4Thrives player stats, though, because for this, I want to see who's currently performing, who's currently not performing. We saw who's Sci-Fi earlier on being able to clutch it up for the squad, and I feel like he's currently being the standout player when we usually end up seeing Falak.
Yeah, I mean, there was even a scenario where they were sort of bunkering in a building and it just looks like their communication is not as tight as we're used to seeing. So yeah, if we bring up like player stats behind it, it looks like they're sort of just feeding and funneling into these, I guess, fights one by one, which is obviously catching them out. And generally, they will have sort of like a nice little split hold strategic way of actually pushing a team into the position that they want them to be able to take them out. So I think it was this spot actually here where, you know, they were sort of bursting and it just was a little bit miscalculated. Still a great sort of, I guess, push from them, but it just isn't as fast-paced as 4Thrives when we used to see.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And also, we kind of saw that when you were pointing it out. Max, the one we saw where 4Thrives just decided to coexist with Hora Esports, it ended up hurting them in a big way because we saw, who was it? No Fear that ended up actually clutching up that 1 versus 2. For 4Thrives, I would have loved to see them being a little bit more aggressive, making them back off and not just waiting the longest time when they actually have to just fight. Usually we tend to see 4Thrives being a little bit more aggressive as we're looking at the player stats, and it's actually Falak that's still putting up the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, he had some crazy good grenades, but actually, I wouldn't fully agree about them being more aggressive. I feel like they're aggressive enough, especially in the early game, right? They love to do it. They were going for it in Pachinki. They even were chasing down Nongshim Red Force at some point, clearing out the entirety of Team Flash. I feel like the issue is sometimes they linger too long on their splits, like that, a 2-2 split inside Fairy Pit, which I liked it. But then you saw Sleepy from Hora, and Sleepy is a very sleepy, sneaky man, okay? He spots you with a mini 14 or even like ARs that pretty much are just, you know, long-range AR snipers. And he's just gonna tear you down. He did that on Falak. They were able to get the reset, but it really goes to show that a split like that, if you're holding on for too long, you are going to be showing a bit of a kink in your armor. I'm not really too scared for 4Thrives. I feel like they're a team that don't really have a big ego. They're willing to change and iterate when they need to do so. So I feel like it's fine, but it's definitely been a rougher opening day than maybe a lot of people were expecting.
No, I do agree that they're not in the woods yet, right?
No, it's fine.
They're not in the woods. They're okay for now, but yeah, it's just that I know the other teams are going to start really playing a lot harder and a lot faster in the second day, and so for them in particular, they really need a good first day, and so far we just haven't had that from them. I kind of agree with both of you, right? Where you're like, they need to be more aggressive. Max says they don't. I think they need to be more aggressive in their momentum, right? Not in getting the elims, not in getting the fights, right? But they need to be snappy. We're not seeing this team be snappy in their rotations. They're not being snappy in their pushes. Their splits are very slow. Yes. They need to slay those rotations. No, I'm sorry.
They do. I agree.
They do.
They actually do.
They really do. They need to be really like Nigma Galaxy that we've seen. Like, who else have we seen? EA have been very quick. If a player gets knocked, they are all over it immediately. They're very, very good. Al-Ula as well, quick, being very speedy with those pushes out for info to make sure that nobody comes in behind them. Stuff like that I want to see from 4Thrives. We saw it in the group stage. It worked very well for them. And just now they're starting to be very indecisive, and I kind of feel like they don't know what's going wrong.
Just their pacing's off.
Their pacing is off. You're indecisive. Trust your gut. Go with it as a group, not one-on-one. Just go with it. Just do it. Just do it.
Just survive once again. But for this team, it's spot on. You were talking about the 2-2 splits. I felt like that 2-2 split took a little bit too long. They should have bring it up together, and that's why I wasn't really happy with how long they decided to coexist with Hora. And talking about that too, they've been aggressive when they need to, but I want to see the 4Thrives that we ended up seeing at PMGO. For everybody that's been watching EWC, you know that the club championship is currently at stake. So why not listen to our amazing reporter that's been keeping track of everything going on with the club championship, Glitter Explosion.
SEC ACC Arena to check in with Ginny about what's going on over here, what's going on with CC and the fans, really.
It's a really good time right now. This is our second game where we have the French crowd absolutely cheering out of their minds. Starting off today, Gentlemates had their game, which was in that lower bracket, and they needed to win in order to be CC eligible, which now they are because they ended up in the top 8.
Okay.
Same thing for KC. They were second on the second game that we had here in the SEC Arena way back when EWC has just started. So they need another top 8 finish. If they win this game, they'll make it happen. But same old, Vitality Falcons already qualified.
Of course.
And Twisted Minds playing later today.
All right, so then that means we've got way more competition still coming up around the corner, and it could be massive for our leaderboard at the end of it all. Of course, we'll check back in as we have more information.
Hello everyone, Jackie Powers and Blank here. We're amongst it right now, Blank, and we're going to be recapping some of what we've seen today. Obviously, day one of finals for PMWC. We've had 3 games played, all with a very different sort of aura to them, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been a good day today. Tiamba's done very, very well so far. Ulf been able to get that win over on match 4, I believe it was, which is very cool to see, because I really like Ulf as a team. Fortunately, it has been a bit of a rocky start for them. Their star player, Eren, hasn't really been stepping up to the plate as much as I might have liked him to. But Scarface, though, he was doing great.
Yeah, Scarface came out swinging. Obviously, talking to some of the fans as well earlier today.
Oh, really?
A lot of love, mate. You can see everyone's very excited. They're actually quite a big representation of the old fandom here.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of cool, getting a different vibe on it. I don't know, it feels like, you got a lot of Godlike fans, very loud, very energetic for them.
Oh, yeah.
But the old fans are there. It just feels like they've been a bit more reserved. They're kind of waiting. They were saying, we know they're going to do well. We'll just wait until they pop off.
We're ramping.
Exactly.
We're just ramping. We're just ramping it. I do think the loudest fans today, though, of all of them, have been Enigma Galaxy fans.
True.
They have come out in force. I was surprised by that, but it's good to see them here. They're all giving them a lot of love, which they deserve right now. Coops is doing fantastic.
Yeah.
I think Ralph's also playing a damn good game. I mean, on that match we watched, I think it was match 2, where he came out with the M249. Great shots over towards Ida. Ida in the bin, by the way, absolutely.
I think that one's a cut storyline already. Like, they're just basically throwing themselves at Enigma Galaxy. I think 3 of us at this point from the team here, the talent team, have spoke to Ralph and asked him similar questions.
Yeah.
And when I asked him about it, you could see that look in his eye where he's just like, I don't know why they're doing it, but it's giving us points and we're going to take it. But you're spot on, mate. Enigma as a team, they've looked great. And honestly, you're right. The fans have been bigging them up and saying, look, I'm pretty confident we're going to win this one.
Yeah.
He also said himself, I think we're in a good spot. Comms are good. I reckon we can win this year's PMWC.
Yeah. You think it's a bit amazing as well, because Coops said it before, he's dodged quite a few events so far with the team. And you really do want to see Coops with the squad. And now they're all together. It does feel like they're a well-oiled squad despite that. So you imagine there's been a lot of scrimming going on in the background, making sure he's been part of the team even when he's not been at events to ensure it's happened. But Coops has just had these awesome moments so far, alongside with Lord a lot, which is great to see. But I will say, one of the teams I've been sort of astonished about, let's put it that way, is Flash. Because we had some really nice moments with Flash, but match 3 today, they're able to get the win. Zeus with the unbelievable quick switch over towards Novia. That was fantastic. But again, I wanted to ask you about it because they are the rookie upstarts. When they came through, they qualified to some massive events. Some of them by playing behind a random loot crate out in the open on Miramar. It's so fun to see a team like this, but they were down on your luck. And I mean, my question to you really, throughout all your years in esports, is like, for a team to do so well as a rookie squad, do they tend to have that downtrend, do you think, before they come back up again?
You know, I think if anything, it's kind of generally a bit easier in most other games. It seems kind of harder in PUBG Mobile because it's very intimate in the way the teams look into each other. They're always researching, always prepping. So even if you are an underdog or a little bit more unknown, someone knows your drop, someone knows your playstyle, they know what weapons you use, they know the way you approach the game. It feels like it's harder to counter. But that was always my theory. Of a team like that, I think if they do start to hit that form, you could go really far because maybe a few players aren't suspecting the best play from you at times. You can pull it out the bag. Max was saying they'll do well. I think they could have been a little bit better in the early groups. I think now, though, they keep it up with the shots we've seen. Mechanically, they could go really far this finals.
Yeah, they're lucky because it's very mirroring the fact of like Tiambo, where you're making these quick snap decisions on the fly. And I think a team like them has certainly come into this with bit more of a lackadaisical attitude of just, we just got to get in there, we got to make it happen. Funnily enough, it was like, I actually was getting my manicure done at the same time.
Show them off, there you go.
Show them off,
there
these are cool. at the same time as Kamikaze was getting his haircut.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And he came in, he was asking me, who do you think's going to win? And I was like, well, from what we've seen so far, 4 Thrives looks pretty good. Vitality looks really good as well.
Safe bets.
Safe bets, you know. Didn't want to put it all on the table. And he just went, we're going to win. And I was like, right. But his explanation was quite cool, though.
Yeah.
He said that we came in groups, we just did not care. Well, they thought that the pressure would get to a lot of teams, which it has.
Yeah, definitely has. There's been too much respect. I think we said this on the card.
Oh my God, yes.
During groups, teams were scared to kind of make some big plays out of like, oh God, what if we don't make it? We have to go to survival. End of the day, mate, survival's the safety net.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, you kind of weirdly want to be there because then you can reset and come out better when we're in finals. And I think they're a team that proved, you know what, we'll just play our own game, give it. The fans are loving it. They looked kind of sick with how they've been playing today as well. And Kamikaze's like absolutely ridiculous with the plays he makes, but he can back it up. So fair play.
He can, yeah. I mean, then he was just in full Zen mode, getting his quick fade put in, which was cool to see. But again, I think for Kamikaze, doing really good on the team. He played a long while back, actually, on a fair few squads. He'd always been like subbing in and out for S2G. It's finally they believe in him now to really make those moments happen. And he is, because he was sort of the new kid on the block, because you had your Solaces, you had your Silas, Sol K, Ketch back in the day, Kelsey, Hamty G, and then he would be like filling in here and there. But I think this must be a great moment for him, having such a fantastic time on the main stage. But yeah, I think S2G's doing well. Ulf, on the other hand, there's still a little bit more to go.
They're ramping.
They are ramping. They are ramping. But it is funny to me because there is some big Turkish rivalry between those teams. It's not brotherly love between those two squads.
No, like organization-wise, you can see everyone's firmly in their own corner of we want this team to win.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It makes it a bit more exciting where it's like, no, I love my team, my players. I think that's cool. I did also like the throw it in there. We had the pop-off moment with Ralph earlier.
Oh, bro.
The fans loved it. You could see we loved it. It was like, dude, this is what I want to see. There's a lot of personality in PUBG Mobile. And I think PMWC seems like one of the better events for it, where people get into that mindset of like, we are superstars. Yeah. And they absolutely are. Best of the best in the game, biggest stages, most lights on them, and they're living up to it. $3 million prize pool. You got to bring your best. So we'll find out how it goes here in the finals.